And we are live. How's everybody doing tonight? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and you're watching and/or listening to ABL Live. Thank y'all for joining me tonight. You could be almost anywhere in the world, but you're right here with me live on the show, and I appreciate y'all for that. We got a whole lot going on all over the internet, all over mainstream media, social media, everywhere, and I don't know where to start. First of all, we have an ice storm in the southern part of the USA. Ice storm, snowstorm, inclement weather, all the things. And every piece of bread and every drop of milk is sold out from sea to shining sea in the South. We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, we got a Minneapolis shooting. This time it was by Border Patrol, not ICE. Because while trying to apprehend a criminal alien with a criminal record documented, somebody wanted to get in the way, somebody wanted to fight, and then somebody got their TV turned off. They got their rights restricted. Their card, their EBT card got declined. Okay, we'll talk about that a little bit later. Also, ICE allegedly detains a 5-year-old. One of the crazy stories I've ever seen. You got people on mainstream media. Well, tonight's news, ICE has detained a 5-year-old little boy. Here's his picture. How cute is he? When the reality is that his illegal alien, quote unquote, father, who knows who that was really, but the adult guardian abandoned him when ICE agents approached him to arrest him. We'll talk about that a little bit later. And there's quite a few more things we'll talk about on tonight's episode of ABL Live. And thank y'all again for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these interwebs. If you like what you're hearing thus far, if you enjoy the content in general, please give this video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. We got a lot going on. Shout out to you guys. Hopefully everybody is safe and you got all your little snacks for the storm. You got all your preparations prepared for a little while. I mean, the ice storm ain't gonna last that long. It depends on where you are. Living in a place where you don't get a lot of snow and it's gonna snow really heavily, that's one thing. If it's gonna be very cold for a while, below freezing, that ice might stay around for a while. So hopefully everybody has what they need to sustain themselves in the storm. But I just want to say this right quick before we talk about anything else, just right quick. When you have a storm, you want to prepare with things that will actually make sense for the storm. Okay, now, y'all know me. I probably said it before. For you new guys, I'm gonna just tell you right now. But I'm a prepper with I'm a small prepper. I'm a lower mid-range prepper. I do have some supplies in case things go wrong. I do have places to go that you don't know about when things go wrong. If they go wrong, I have preparations made. Now, I know some guys are the real preppers. Shout out to you guys. I know guys that got alternative fuel sources. They got a well. They got all kind of stuff. Like, some guys really, really prepared. I got a few things, and I know how to get certain things. Aside from your supplies, like your ammunition, any kind of power source, a flashlight or something like that, something basic, first aid, your alcohol, not to drink, but, rubbing alcohol, things like that. Supplies you may need if you cannot get to a hospital, if you can't get to the store, get something right quick, just basic stuff like that I have already. But food is something that a lot of people just, man, they go crazy. They go to the grocery store and loot the dumbest things. What do they get? We all know what it is. They get milk, bread, toilet paper, just ridiculous things in bulk. Now, if you enjoy milk a lot, I understand, I get it, but good grief. I mean, the most you're going to be in the house is what, a couple of days, a week at best, and probably not even that long. Do you need 20 gallons of milk for that? Even if not for the fact that you're going to be home for a while and not going outside, if you just get that stuff normally, how long would it last you and how much do you need? Why would you get more than what you need for a week being at the house? Now I'm hearing all kind of excuses. Oh, ABL, they're just gonna, since it's cold outside, they're gonna put the milk outside and they won't go bad if the power goes out. See? Okay, but see, that's not really, because y'all do that during the hurricane. Y'all know I'm from Virginia. We didn't have hurricanes hit. I've been at the house when the hurricanes hit. I done been hit by hurricanes, tornadoes, all of that. Y'all do the exact same thing during the hurricane, during the rainstorm, during any kind of inclement weather. Y'all go and buy the exact same stuff, milk and bread. Now, to the 5,000 IQs out there that say you could just place the milk outside during the storm when it's cold. Okay, what about during the hurricane? It's 115 degrees with 1,000% humidity, rainy and windy. What you gonna do with the milk then? What are you gonna do with the milk then? I don't really understand. I don't get it. I've never understood that. And people always did that during the storm. They get the dumbest things, bread and like, why? You know what I get? Hey, you know the one thing you should have? Water. And you know what? I went to Costco on Sunday before the whole ice storm thing was really into focus all the way. Already got my stuff. Hey, I got a whole big thing of water. The good old Kirkland brand. Shout out to Kirkland. Hey, I'm going to get Kirkland tattooed on my chest. Like, you know what I mean? Like Shaquille O'Neal with Superman thing. But anyway, I got everything. I got water. I got a big bag of trail mix, which is great for not being able to use power. It's great for being able to eat without having to cook. But I do have ways to cook without power, but that's a different story. Anyway, trail mix, pistachios, water, canned goods. You got tuna, salmon. And if you're going to go kind of like old school with it, you could get Vienna sausages. ABL, you're not saying it right. You could get Vienna sausages. I'm not really going to be so stuck up trying to pronounce a thing that you could get from dollar store for like, you could get 1,000 cans of Vienna sausages for like $1. So it doesn't really matter. But anyway, Vienna sausages, sardines, salmon. You get eggs. Like me, I like going to Buc-ee's and they got all kind of canned foods right there. They don't require you to refrigerate them before you consume them. Once you pop it open, at that point, you got to try to figure it out. But you could just have that out on your counter without any refrigeration. So you'd be good during a time where there may not be any power. Why would you get the most perishable items? And that means for the people that are new and the young people, that means things that can go bad. Why would you buy the most perishable items during a time where you may not have power? And again, y'all do that during hurricanes, during any time where it could be some kind of, y'all did it during COVID with toilet paper. Remember that? Oh man. Whenever there's an emergency and we got to go buy something, let's get toilet paper. Let's get milk. Let's get eggs. Let's get just random stuff that does not make any sense in 2026. Okay, big bag stuff is gonna, and the funny part, whether you put it outside, if it's 10 degrees or not, it's still gonna go bad because you can only refrigerate the milk for so long. What you gonna do? Freeze it outside? Okay, now you can't consume it though. So what's the purpose? It makes no sense. It makes no sense at all. I don't. So look, if you're trying to go stock up for a storm, just take my advice. And you know what? If you got milk and stuff like that this time, I forgive you. You just didn't know no better. Your brain just said, you know what? I'm a default to what I know from growing up. Okay, whenever the weatherman says it might be something kind of crazy going on, go to Home Depot. Not Home Depot. Go to some of y'all go to Home Depot and buy stuff you shouldn't be buying. Go to, what's a good grocery store? Fruit Line for my Virginia people. Harris Teeter, Kroger, Aldi, Wegmans, Publix, Food City, Food Circle, Belo from our Virginia people. Go to these stores and just buy up all the milk and bread. That's kind of what's going on. All right, MREs. Yes, MREs. Absolutely. Okay. Everyone sold out of water. Yeah, and the thing is, you should kind of already be ready so you don't got to get ready. Be ready so you don't got to get ready. Like, I went to Costco not even thinking about the storm, but I always have enough to last, like supplies like water. Now you're talking about fresh produce. I get that all the time from the store, fresh from the store. But when you're talking about water, and I keep canned food on me all the time, it's just going to be there in case I need it. You know, like for like a year or something until they expire. Yeah, it's always going to be there if I need it. And there's been some times where I needed it. I got a little tickle in my throat. Okay, get some of the chicken noodle soup, put some cayenne pepper in there, throw that in my head and knock it on out. So yeah, definitely have some of these staples in your home at all times, even if it's not under the threat of a storm. Susan says Kroger sells brown meat. It's nasty. Well, hey, for my fresh produce, I go to Publix and get it straight from the man, straight from the people behind the counter. Like, I want to see them back there making it. Like, I want to see that whole process go down. A tip also about food, if you're getting like fish or something in the bag and you can't see through the bag, you don't want that. You want it straight from the produce man all day long. What's going on, crazy chick? She ended up coming from Ireland. That's what I'm talking about. Shout out to Ireland. Okay, you know I got 5% Irish, so we cousins, we fam. All right, in the club, we all fam. Shout out to that meme. AMG says I made 12 boiled eggs, 4 packages of cheese, and a good brand of instant coffee, canned milk without sugar. Will eat like normal. If power goes out, there you go. See, you good to go. 12 boiled eggs, that's perfect. I had a boiled egg today. Amazing. Yeah, give me. That's a great food to have in general, but definitely right now during the storm. Canned chili, that's a good one. Design Rhythm, pardon me, says can doesn't really expire for way longer than the printed date. Well, hey, there you go. Even better. I keep it beyond the date. If I just happen to have, like, you could just happen to have a can in there and just forget about it. You put it in there, you buy it, and, you know, buy 10 cans, 15 cans, whatever. What I would do at one point back in the day is go buy a bunch of stuff, bunch of cans, and just put them in the actual pantry. Or you could buy 1 or 2 every other time you go to the store. I go to the store a lot, maybe like 2 or 3 times a week, maybe like twice a month. I might get 1 can and just put it in there. And before you know it, you got 30 cans. Not a whole lot, but enough to hold you over during an emergency. So shout out to you guys out there getting ready for the storm. Now, some of us, rather than getting ready for the storm, rather than hunkering down, some of us, not us who are watching this, not those of us that have a brain in our head, but some humans are outside in a place like Minneapolis, Minnesota, in the brutal cold, calling themselves protesting. And really what I see, we'll get to that in a minute, really what I see are a bunch of people out there doing what they call LARPing, doing what they call being paid to protest. I'm seeing quite a bit of that going on. And the weather is so cold. Hey, if you guys are up there in a place where it's like some temperature below 0, tell me how it feels. Like, I don't know if I've ever been in air that cold before. I don't know if I've ever been in the air that cold before. I was outside yesterday and the wind hit me. I'm like, wait a minute. Like, over the past few weeks, it's not really been that cold. It's been kind of warm, actually. If it's like 55 degrees and sunny, that's kind of warm to me. But the other day, I felt maybe the wind ahead of the storm that's coming or that's here right now. I felt that wind hit me. It's like, oh my goodness, this is a sample of what I got to deal with. I couldn't do it. 30 below 0 Fahrenheit in Minneapolis. Wind chill 47 below 0. Look, man, I don't know how y'all do it. I done told y'all before, I don't want to live in no cold place. Give me warmth. Give me warmth. If it is some degree below 0, count me out. Hey, ABL, do you want to go to Antarctica? I sure don't, but good luck with that. Have fun with that. I'm good. Do you want to go to, I don't know, North Dakota? You want to go to Fargo? You want to go skiing? You know what? That sounds great and all, to go to a real cold place like that and just kind of hang out and be chilling. Denver, wherever you got skiing at. But I'm good. Y'all could take that. But anywhere hot, 100 degrees, humid, I'm cool. We in there. Yeah, I'll take that. But the cold, I can't. Shout out to you guys who are out there. Hold on. Dangers says, just came in from outside. The wind hurts your face. Every breath is frosty in the Northeast. See, I don't like that, man. I like to be somewhat comfortable. I don't got to be super like, princess on the throne comfortable all the time. But come on, man. When the cold hurts your face, they said under certain temperatures, any exposed skin will become hypothermic and you'll have an actual injury. It's not just you feel cold. It's not just you shivering and it's uncomfortable. Nah, you're going to get injured. Imagine that. Imagine that. I am cool. All right. R Black Pearl says, ABL, I was born and raised in New York City, and at 60 years plus, I'm good with New York cold. To each his own. Hey, if you can deal with it, if you can stand it, I understand. If you had enough and you're ready to leave, ready to go to Florida, I understand that as well. I totally get it. But for me, I'm good. All right, hold on. No snow in Vancouver. Interesting. Shout out to Vancouver. All right. The heat kills you. Yeah, you get that frostbite when your skin is exposed to that very cold temperature for a certain period of time. All right. Rolling Coconut says 60 below Fahrenheit with wind chill Christmas Day 1980 in Northwest Ohio. Whew. Man, that day it's like, what do you even do? Where's your respite? Where's your safe harbor? I mean, if you got a home that has a fireplace, I don't know, the fireplace ain't going to fireplace enough in that situation. You can forget about going outside. Don't even worry about it. Just hunker down wherever you at. Hunker down wherever you are and hope for the best, pray for the worst. That's all you can do. Hold on. Temple Meyer says 11 degrees in Southeast Missouri. Wow. Tampopo Chan says it feels like 19 in some parts of Texas. Oh my goodness. And Texas is hot. Like, I've been to Texas a few times, and every time I went, it was hot. It didn't really matter if it was summer. I've not gone in the wintertime, though. That's a thing. But I've gone in different parts of the year. And whenever I went, it was pretty hot. Like, let's say it was warm in Atlanta, if it was warm in Tennessee. When you go to Texas, it's hot. And the heat is different. It's like you have sort of a desert heat combined with, it's like the desert heat and the kind of coastal tropical heat combined to just punch you right in the head with the warmth. That's kind of what goes on in Texas. So it's kind of surprising to hear that it's cold like that out there in a Lone Star State. Definitely hard to really fathom that kind of heat. Captain Tripp says, I'm blessed to live in Florida. Tomorrow's high is 80. Well, hey, shout out to you. It must be nice to be down there in sunny Florida. Up here, it's not too bad. Chattanooga, it's like what? Probably about 30. It's like right at freezing, like 32-ish, 33-ish, 31. It's like right there. So it's cold, but it's not as cold as it could be. And it's not as warm as I would like for it to be. But of course, it's wintertime, so I don't really expect that. AMG says, today in Northwest Arkansas, I saw weird snowflakes called snow needles. Ominous. Sort of confirms my questions if this huge storm is engineered. So is it an engineered thing? And if the storm is engineered, why would you think that? What's their motivation? For you guys who believe it, I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm just saying, if you think this storm could be engineered in some kind of way, maybe enhanced in some kind of way, what would be the purpose? To get more water? Because that's the thing. You got a lot of these cities that are growing down south and they need more water. It's funny because you're talking about engineered storms. That's a good point you bring up, because I've been thinking for a while that they make rain happen in certain places more than others. Like whenever you go to Atlanta, it's to the point now where it's like a meme. It always is raining right there. And the question is why? I don't know, maybe because it's a sprawling metro area that is growing rapidly and you got to be able to give them water some kind of way. All these new residents got to have water. So why not just engineer rainstorms to rain right there a lot in that area to give this growing metropolis the water it needs? I'm just saying. There's been a big fight over water in Georgia because we got a Tennessee River right here. They were trying to redraw the northern boundary of Georgia beyond where it's at. I think they put it at some parallel they put it at. But they wanted to increase it a little bit to get more access to the Tennessee River because they need the water. So maybe they say, okay, if we can't get the water from the Tennessee River, then we still got a problem. Okay, make it rain more right there in that area. I don't know. I'm just saying I had that thought that comes to my mind. All right. Cloud seeding, but the cloud seeding does happen for sure. Yeah, it does happen. But still, the cold weather is a mess. But the protesters, quote unquote, out there in Minnesota apparently don't really care. But they said it was like 10,000 people. A lot of them got bussed in from all over the place. I'm willing to bet that the majority of those out there in Minnesota, and if not the majority, I would say at least a big piece of them, if not the majority, I would say 45%, 49.9% of these people are from out of state, at least, bare minimum. But I would say the majority of them from out of state being bussed in because they see this as an opportunity to get things going, to cause civil unrest, to use that for their own narrative. See what ICE is doing to us, poor innocent protesters. That's the idea that I have from this. They're going to gas people up. They're going to encourage them to go out there and crash out and get themselves deleted like the dude did out there, Alex Pretti. Now, the excuses for this guy who got himself deleted by Border Patrol is ridiculous. Okay, now people talking about a Second Amendment issue. Second Amendment, okay, if you're going to be a person who is lawfully carrying your firearm, there are certain things you can't do, like antagonize people and get into fights, and you could totally avoid the situation. Because what people do sometimes is that they arm themselves, legally or not, and go to places, get into trouble on purpose so they can use a firearm against whoever is doing something to them. Whoever is retaliating against them, whoever is defending themselves, they want to say, oh, well, self-defense. No, because your intent was to go down there, start something, and pull your weapon and use it. If you're going to be a gun owner, you got to be a responsible gun owner. You got to follow certain rules. You can't just take a gun out and use it whenever. If you have a gun lawfully on you and you brandish it in public, what does brandish mean? Brandishing means if you have your gun in a holster on your body, in a bag or whatever, and you take it out of this holster, bag, wherever you have it, your hip, whatever, your belt, and you hold it and point it, that's called brandishing. And you cannot do that unless you got a threat in front of you. Or if you're in a place where you're able to do like a shooting range or something like this. If you're out in public and you brandish your weapon, you cannot do that. Second Amendment, no Second Amendment. That's not how it works. You can brandish if you have a threat that you need to deal with. You can't just brandish it. Like, okay, put it to you this way. Let's say you're in a movie theater. Matter of fact, a restaurant. You're in a restaurant eating dinner. All of a sudden, a guy takes his gun out and start waving it around. That is 100% illegal. And then what if you said, Allahu Akbar? Hey, man, at that point, I'm going to get myself. Hey, I ain't going to say what I'm going to do. But at that moment, there may be a gun produced by somebody else, and it's going to be a shootout because you're waving your gun around. You're making incendiary and threatening statements. You're causing a dangerous situation. You're creating a threat. You have become a threat by doing that. It doesn't matter if you have your gun legally or not. People just don't understand what the law is. You see, and look, that's part of my reason why I'm here is to talk about the law. I was reading comments. People say, oh, he's a lawful gun owner. They shouldn't have killed him. Huh? You can't try to fight cops and Border Patrol and ICE agents, and then when you're fighting them, try to pull your gun out like you're totally in the wrong. You are wrong from the beginning by trying to fight him and then trying to pull your gun. You did two things right there. Yeah, they're going to go ahead and just delete you because you already fighting them and you're going for your gun. That denotes intent to use the gun on the officers. So before the person on the ground, the guy, Alex Pretti, before he's able to get that weapon and shoot the officers, they got to go get him when they see him reach for it. They didn't already told him, stop resisting. Rather than doing that, he escalates it by trying to reach for the weapon. You can't do that. Same thing with the lady, Rachel Nicole Good, is that her name? The same thing with her. You can't try to hit a cop with a car, brush them, bump them, whatever. You can't do that because they're going to say, okay, deadly weapon, I'm in danger. Pop, pop, pop. Now you dead. So, RIP, whatever. But I mean, at a certain point, I don't like when people do dumb things that they know they shouldn't do. And then something bad happens and I got to feel bad for them. Why should I feel bad for them? If a guy pulls a gun on the cop and tries to shoot and he gets shot, why am I feeling bad for the guy who pulled the gun again? I don't understand. If a guy pulled a gun on you, what you going to do? Wait to get shot and then shoot back? If a guy tried to kill you with his car, run you over with the car, what you going to do? Get hit, get run over, get crunched, and then shoot the tires like you in the video game? We got to live in reality here. We must live in reality. Yeah, don't cause chaos. Don't cause chaos. Hold on. I'm a liar. Me? I'm a liar. Somebody said I'm a liar. Was that Nike NAKI 1209? Listen, I'm not sure if I'm reading your statement correctly, but we're going to get to the video. We got a lot of videos, a lot of different angles. We're going to get to all of that. But before I go any further, shout out to you guys for watching. I appreciate y'all for joining. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Also, shout out to the sponsors. You guys are the first sponsor, but shout out to my other sponsors, PatriotPost.us, your best source of news and information anywhere on these interwebs. Their link will always be in the description box, or visit PatriotPost.us on the browser and tell them that ABL sent you. Also go to Cameo. I am on Cameo, available if you want to have me give your loved one, your friend, your colleague, whoever, a message on video. I'm here for you. The link for Cameo is in the description, or just go to Cameo, search ABL, Anthony Brian Logan, I'll pop up and you can contact me there. Also, shout out to my merch website, ablmerch.com. That is ablmerch.com. We got the hats, t-shirts, stickers, hoodies, mugs, and more right there on the website, ablmerch.com. Also, go to the regular website, anthonyblogan.com. That is ANTHONY, the letter B, LOGAN.com. Go to the front page of the website. For each long-form video that I produce, I write an article, and in each article, we have sources. ABL, where's your source? ABL, where's your source? We have sources for each long-form video that I produce, and in each article, you'll have, mess the whole thing up. But anyway, you got sources from local, national, international, whatever you want. I got it right there on the front page of the website, anthonyblogan.com. Also, please go to the contact page of the website, anthonyblogan.com/contact-us. There you'll be able to find my email address, my snail mail address, my UPS box, of course, my social media accounts, my Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, never going to call it X, TikTok. All my links are right there on the contact page of the website, anthonyblogan.com/contact-us. And as I always say, if you ever think you're conversing with me on the interwebs or not, you're probably not. If you didn't email me first at contact@anthonyblogan.com, which is, again, right there on the contact page. If you didn't email me there first and I didn't respond to you that way, then it's probably not me. You in the comment section, you in your DMs, you in your email, it's a random person talking about they're me, trying to pose as me, offering you things, talking about monies and whatnot. Please don't respond. Please don't engage, because it is a scam and you will get robbed. 2026, we got too many lazy bitbacks all over this planet. They want to take your money. Don't let them do it. It could be do over in India, barefoot, no socks at all. He only own a pair of socks, a straight barefoot, no matter what. It don't matter if he's in the kitchen, if he's in the library, outside, flying the plane, barefoot no matter what, flip-flops at best. Or it could be a guy over in Eastern Europe, okay, running away from Ukraine and Russia war, trying to get some money from you. Don't pay them any mind. Or it'd be a guy, y'all know, my cousin, my homeboy, my uncle from 1,000 years ago in Lagos, Nigeria, trying to rob you. Y'all know how they sound. You have contacted Anthony Brian Logan. I am the guy you want to talk to. I have not received the gift cards. Please send them now. I don't have enough time to waste. I'm going to the stream tonight, and I need the cards before I go on the stream. You hearing all that jazz right there on the phone? It ain't me. Okay, it's not. And if you're actually able to get them on the phone and talk to them, it might be AI or something like that. That might even have my face. All right. But tell them to say certain little phrases that is going to kind of trip them up. Say, hey, I'm going to the store. Can you spell that in the chat? And they put the AM right there. You already know that it's not me because I know how to, my grammar is much better. But shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for rocking and rolling. Let's get to what's happening in Minnesota and Minneapolis with this shooting of this moron, of this imbecile who got himself deleted because he went to try and fight Border Patrol agents and then pull a gun on them when he was getting his hind parts handed to him like this here. Okay, now look, this, before we get into that, this is just the scene. This is what it looks like out there in Minneapolis. You're talking about Call of Duty map right here. Check it out. And you know what? The more I see it, it's more like the Division. If you ever played that, it's like the Division 2. It's kind of like that right now. I'm seeing video game server right here. All these people just outside in the daytime, just it's straight NPCs because it's like, what are y'all even doing? Y'all don't have anything to do with your lives, no jobs, no personal commitments, no nothing. You just kind of out here in the middle of the daytime doing what? For what purpose? I can only think that they're being paid and or we're dealing with NPCs, non-playable characters, people that are just out there just to be bodies out there to make it look more than what it is. Okay, so this is their job right here. They're being paid. People are asking, like I was asking, hey, why are they out there? What kind of job do they have to be out there in the middle of the daytime? This is their job. That's their job. Now, let's get straight to what's happening here. We got a lot of camera angles. We got a lot. We got the firearm, camera angles, everything. Okay, so this is one angle here. Check it out. Let me get some sound. And let's start from the top. Now, from that angle, it's kind of hard to see. Let's go back through it a little bit. So we can see. Hold on, let's go back. So I think you have Alex right here in these tan pants, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's him right there. Yeah, there we go. That's him right there. Getting sprayed. And I'm sorry for I'm turning the sound off. And then he begins to struggle. That's what starts it. He begins to struggle. And then at a certain point, gun comes out. He dead. Now we got more angles. Oh, we just getting started. ABL, I want to see more. We just getting started. Don't worry about it. Hey, I got you. Just sit back and relax. Now watch this. Here's the angle that is really widespread. I posted this one. Let's take a look at it.
Oh shit! What the fuck?
All right, sorry for the cussing, but y'all know what it is.
They killed him? Did they fucking?
All right, so let's go back. So look at the officer right there with the gray shirt or shirt jacket, whatever that is. Take a look at him. We're going to look at him because we're going to kind of like break this down frame by frame. And you know, we have the luxury of being Monday morning quarterback, so to speak, because we're able to see these incidents and break it down frame by frame. When you're in real life, you don't have the luxury of being able to see multiple camera angles, to break things down frame by frame, to take hours and days and weeks and months and years to figure out what you're going to do in a situation. You got to make a snap decision. You got 1 second, a split second. You don't have time to do all this. But let's take a look at the guy right here in the gray. So right there, it looks like he may have been able to disarm him. That's what it looks like. The problem is people see this and they say, well, the cop or the Border Patrol agent, whoever that is in the gray, was able to disarm him from what we see, from what we think. Therefore, there shouldn't be any shooting. But him leaving with the gun happens right when the shot goes off. So maybe the officers don't see that he did that, because I think the guy on the ground, Alex Pretti, did not know he was disarmed. So I'll paint you the picture. If you are the Border Patrol agent, you're fighting with this guy, he's resisting, he's just not allowing things to happen properly, and he reaches for his waist, what is going to be going through your mind? He's trying to get a gun. And you got, again, a split second to react. He could draw that weapon, shoot one of y'all, and it's over with. So if the guy did not know that he was disarmed, because it happened so quickly, how about the officers? If the guy himself didn't know he was disarmed, why would all the officers know? All they see is him reaching for his waist, and he was going for the gun. But let's keep on going.
Oh shit! What the fuck?
All right, now we got more angles. So again, y'all just sit back, relax. I got you. Now, before we get to the more angles, here is the weapon. I'm gonna show you the weapon, and I'm gonna show you the guy, Alex Pretti. Okay, that's his name, Pretti, Alex Pretti. All right, hold on. And here is the weapon. Now, what kind of weapon is? Hey, you know what? I ain't gonna hold you. That's a beautiful weapon. I mean, clearly in the hands of somebody who shouldn't have had it, in my humble opinion. But definitely a beautiful weapon. And I saw what this was. I think somebody, 6RP 320. 6RP 320. And from what I'm reading right here, you got a SIG Sauer P320 AXG combat, high capacity 9mm pistol with a threaded barrel, extended 20-21 round magazine, and a SIG Romeo optic, a setup costing $1,500 to $2,000 for a handgun. That right there, at least $1,500 to $2,000. And he was a lawful gun owner, so he probably bought that from the store like that. All right, so not a cheap weapon at all. It looks relatively new. Well, not really. That magazine's kind of worn down a little bit, but you probably hadn't shot it that much. beautiful weapon in the hands of somebody who shouldn't have had it. Okay, and here is Alex. And again, we got more angles coming up. I just want you to see what's going on. Now, for him to be like leaning into the guy and all this and that shows aggression. So you're being aggressive. You know, these guys talking about, oh, I'm just an observer. Okay, you're observing, but you like leaning into my chest. You're being aggressive. You're fighting. You have a gun on you. Oh, lawful gun owner. Okay. Did you go down to that protest intending to use that on the officers? See, intent is very important, because if you went down there with the intention to do that, then it's no surprise that you got into a fight because you wanted to fight anyway. And of course, in the fight, you reached for the gun, but you had been disarmed and then you got deleted. So RP to you. But let's keep on going. We got more angles, and this is going to be a slow motion one that, in my opinion, shows him trying to reach for his gun. I'm turning the sound off for this one. Now you can see him right there on the ground. Now, this move to me looks like he's trying to reach behind him, reach on his waist, or reach for his back. He's trying to reach for the weapon. Okay. And again, we're playing this in slow motion, frame by frame. So imagine what the officers are seeing in real time, where you don't have this time to really go back and look at it frame by frame. But let's watch. Again, no sound, but you can see him on the ground right there. He appears to be trying to reach for his gun. Now, at that moment, see the officer right there? Apparently, he had it. Apparently, he had the actual gun. And we're going to another angle that shows an object in Alex Pretti's hand. For all the Border Patrol agents know, the object in his hand was the gun that he was reaching for, but it had already been disarmed a split second before the gunshots rang out. Let's keep on going. Okay, and then, boom, there goes the shooting right there. Just that quick. And we're playing this in super slow motion. This is a 15-second clip, but really, if you put it into like real time, maybe like 5 seconds or less, 2 seconds, 1 second, it's not that much. Matter of fact, hold on. Let me see if I can just speed it up a little bit. If I speed this up 2x, is it going to work? Speeding this up 2x still is going frame by frame. So it's very, very, very slow. Very slow. Well, we got another angle to look at before I continue with the rest. All right. So okay, here we go. You can see Alex on the ground was like being covered up by one of the agents, I suppose. Now take a look right here in this white circle. So something happens right there. Does Alex shoot his gun first? Does an agent shoot their gun first? Somebody shot. And you can see the officer with the gray right there in the back. Okay. Now, at first, officer in the gray is right there. See, right here where my mouse cursor is, right there. That appears to be him. Okay, and as the split second he goes that way is when the gunshot happened, right there. See, everybody reacted to something from right there. Okay. Now, we got more. We have more. This might be the definitive angle right here. This might be like the best angle. Say the best for last. You see him trying to go for the holster. That's right. Imagine that. You see him. Okay, now look. You can see there's Alex right there. They're trying to get him down. Or keep him down. And then here comes the agent right here reaching for his weapon because it looks like he's trying to reach for his. Okay, let me continue. And then I think he might be the one that shot ultimately. See, and then I think at that point he shot. But he was trying to reach for his weapon. And that's why everybody reacted like that, because it said gun, gun, gun. Everybody disperses. And right there, Mr. Gray, at that point, he's able to disarm him. After they spot the weapon, and I'm not sure if he disarmed him after the gun he had went off or if his gun ever went off. All right, but it happened just like that. Right when the gun gets disarmed is when the other agent shot him. Just at this, like simultaneously. So, you know what? The moral of the story is don't try to fight Border Patrol, ICE agents, police, anybody like that. Don't try to fight anybody on the street. Don't get into any kind of fights on the street. It doesn't really matter who it is, but especially Border Patrol, police, any kind of law enforcement, don't do it. And if you have a gun on you, you most certainly shouldn't do it, because that's part of your responsibility as a lawful gun owner. Somebody has a gun on them carrying it. You're supposed to avoid confrontation because, again, people sometimes get into confrontations just for the express purpose of using their gun and trying to claim self-defense. And or they try to get into confrontation to use their weapon to basically commit some kind of jihad. Like people that got the suicide bomb on their bomb on their chest and the vest. It's the same kind of mentality. It's the same kind of thing, because you think your purpose is righteous. You're going to go out there and do that. It's the intent. I mean, you could have a gun on you if you're a legal and lawful gun owner, but again, you must be a responsible gun owner. Okay? You must be responsible. Now, here's a news story that came out pretty much right around the same time this happened from Fox News. Check it out.
Good morning to you. So heard this happen a little after 10:15 Eastern time, and I'll start with what we do know. This was a Border Patrol involved shooting. This was not ICE. Border Patrol shot somebody who DHS tells Fox News was armed with a gun. They have recovered that gun as well as 2 magazines. Now, I'm told the person was shot multiple times and that medics were working on them and that CPR was being performed. There is a video floating around online of the shooting where you can see this shooting happening. What we do not know right now is what led up to the shooting or what type of enforcement this was. Was this a targeted immigration enforcement? Did Border Patrol know who this person was? Was it somebody in the U.S. illegally that they were marking for arrest? Was this a protester? Was this an agitator? Was this a U.S. citizen? Those are the questions we don't know right now.
Well, an update. We know that the guy's Alex Pretti, 37 years old. He's an ICU nurse, and he is living in Minneapolis or somewhere in Minnesota. So not an illegal alien. And he was just an agitator out there trying to cause problems and brought a gun with him. I don't know if his intention was to try and do that to get into a confrontation and then use the weapon. I don't really know, but that's what wound up happening.
Now, obviously, when something like this happens, information is coming out very quickly, and there's all sorts of differing reports. But what we can confirm is that Border Patrol agents did, in fact, shoot somebody in Minneapolis this morning. And DHS tells Fox News that person was armed with a gun. You're looking at images of that gun right now. The gun was loaded and had 2 separate magazines. So we do not have an update on that person's condition just yet. I'm working the phones, working the sources to find out exactly what led up to this, who this person was, how it all went down. But you can see from the live images, obviously this is going to turn into a powder keg situation. You've got politicians putting statements out already. You got people gathering to protest. You got, federal agents and police trying to hold those folks back. As information starts to develop on this shooting throughout the morning, you're going to have more and more people showing up at the scene here, and this is likely going to turn into another scene of heated protest today based off what we've seen in Minneapolis the last couple of weeks, Kaylee. But going to continue working the phones. All we can confirm right now, Border Patrol shooting, 1 suspect down, and gun recovered. And
there we go. So that was the initial news report out of Fox about this whole situation. I mean, I think I was able to prove my case that this was something that was justified. You're going to get into a fight with Border Patrol agents, you're resisting, and you try to reach for your weapon. Now, it doesn't really matter because, let me tell you something. Even if the officer was able to disarm him a split second before he reached for the weapon, If the officers were able to identify the weapon and say gun, 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 and then they see him reach for it, what comes next? Do you say, hey, gun, 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 he reaches for it and just wait for him to draw it and see if he's going to shoot? No. You're in the fight already. You see the gun. You see him reach for it. You got to go ahead and handle your business and the threat. And if that's something that you don't want to have happen, if you don't want that to happen, try not fighting law enforcement and then try to pull a gun on them. The things people are doing, the excuses that people are making for these people in Minnesota is ridiculous. Like Renee Nicole Good, I still can't get over that. She tried to get away. That's what we're going to say now when you are being told to stop by officers and you don't do it. One of them is in your car like this, hanging on to the side. Another one in the front. You're just going to drive like through them or brush them. Nah. Hey, let me do that. Let me just be on the side of the road, pulled over, and they say, hey, Mr. Logan, license, registration, proof of insurance. You know what? How about no, I'm going to go ahead and just go now. And then I just gun it on the Mustang. Hit one of them, almost drag one. Man, please. They're going to light my car up. It's going to be Chinese New Year. They're going to set my car on fire. Hey, check it out. Try not pulling over when you're supposed to if you're being chased by a GSP. They're going to do a pit maneuver. Have you ever seen a pit maneuver before? A pit maneuver. They're going to hit the back of your car and make you spin out. They're going to make your car not spin out as far as like on the ground like this, like a hydroplane. They're going to make your car do flips, donuts, tucks, all of that. You're going to flip over in your vehicle and you might mess around and die. You think you could just hit somebody with a car and get away with it? No way. Now, here's Kristi Noem talking about the shooting. Here is Kristi Noem. I like Kristi Noem. She's doing a pretty good job. I like Kristi Noem. I like Marco. I like Scott Bessent. There's a few stars in the administration. And you know what? I'm going to say this, make you real mad. I like Kristi when she said she killed the dog. Because, hey, hear me out. Oh, I know I heard some gas, but hear me out. It's because she knew the dog had to get, she knew the dog was going to get put down regardless. It was a nuisance dog. It had been biting people. She was the second home for the dog. So she did what had to be done. She made an executive decision rather kick the can down the road. Because a lot of Democrats, people in government, they kick the can down the road. Oh, we'll deal with that later. Okay, Joe Biden is 1,000 years old right now. We'll get him in office and then deal with it later. But later, when later happens, it's a disaster. Anyway.
The Department of Homeland Security law enforcement officials.
I'm sorry if you were offended by that, but it was, hey, you know I got to keep it all the way real. And if you got a dog, shout out to your dog. Okay, shout out to your pet, your baby. Shout out to the dogs. I love animals. I love dogs, cats, all of that.
The Department of Homeland Security law enforcement officials and officers were conducting targeted operations in Minneapolis against an illegal alien whose criminal history included domestic assault with intentionally inflicting bodily harm, disorderly conduct, and driving without a valid license. An individual approached U.S. Border Patrol officers with a 9mm semi-automatic handgun. The officers attempted to disarm this individual, but the armed suspect reacted violently. Fearing for his life and for the lives of his fellow officers around him, an agent fired defensive shots. Medics were on the scene immediately and attempted to deliver medical aid to the subject, but he was pronounced dead at the scene. The suspect also had 2 magazines with ammunition in them that held dozens of rounds. He also had no ID. This looks like a situation where an individual arrived at this scene to inflict maximum damage on individuals and to kill law enforcement. About hundreds of protesters then showed up at the scene. They began to obstruct and to assault law enforcement officers. We saw objects being thrown at them, including ice and other objects, and a rampant assault began, and even an HSI officer agent's finger was bitten off. Crowd control measures were deployed to bring safety to the public and to law enforcement at the scene. And once again, I want to remind everybody that this situation and this tragedy did not have to happen.
There we go. So shout out to Kristi Noem, our DHS secretary. Shout out Kristi Noem. Again, I like her a lot. What she said right there, right on point. Right on point.
intent to do bodily harm, and other convictions as well. This individual.
Oh, and then it's talking about the guy they were trying to get, because the reason why Border Patrol was out there is because they were trying to find an illegal alien who already had a criminal record. He already had a criminal record. It's okay. Let's go get him. It wasn't just trying to harass people. Nah, it was a targeted operation trying to get a certain individual. And this guy got in the way, wanted to fight, and pulled a gun, or tried to pull a gun at least.
Intent to do bodily harm, and other convictions as well. This individual went and impeded their law enforcement operations, attacked those officers, had a weapon on him, and dozens of rounds of ammunition, wishing to inflict harm on these officers, brandishing like that and impeding their work that they were doing. We'll continue to do bodily.
All right, there we go. So again, that's Kristi Noem, our DHS secretary, and this is going to be the Minneapolis police chief with Jacob Fry in the background. Let's get some sound. Do we not have sound? What's going on?
Press up.
There we go.
After our last press update, additional residents and demonstrators gathered today, and the situation deteriorated. Local and state law enforcement officers were surrounded on multiple sides by a mix of protesters and also agitators who engaged in unlawful acts. Individuals began erecting barricades, throwing glass bottles, ice chunks, and at least 2 separate fires were started in the immediate vicinity. Minneapolis police had to escort firefighters so that they could safely extinguish those fires. The number one priority of our police officers is to protect life and maintain public safety for all people in our community. And so given the volatility and rising public safety risks for residents, for demonstrators, and police officers, state and local law enforcement did deploy less lethal and gas munitions at that assembly in order to allow for a safe egress of law enforcement and to prevent further violence and damage.
All right, there we go again. That's the Minneapolis police chief with the mayor of Minneapolis, Jacob Fry. Look at him, just Trudeau. What's the other guy? Macron. Look just like them. Is there a first world place leader factory? I don't know, because these guys look the exact same in the face. It's kind of crazy. Like they're all brothers or something, like they triplets. But anyway, now here's more about Alex. As I think this is going to be what's my man's name? Bovino, not Bongino, not him. Greg Bovino. I think that's him. Y'all give me a second and make sure I'm saying the right thing. Greg Bovino. He is, Gregory Bovino. He is I don't know what he is. Border Patrol guy. Yeah. The Border Patrol boss, I believe. We can say that. Let's watch.
DHS law enforcement officers were conducting a targeted operation in Minneapolis against an illegal alien, Jose Huerta Chuma. You can see this illegal alien on the screen to my left and right. That is Jose Huerta Chuma, whose criminal history includes domestic assault to intentionally inflict bodily harm, disorderly conduct, and driving without a valid license.
Pause. I don't want to hear nobody in the chat. Oh, ABL, that ain't nothing. He got weak charges. Okay, now we're moving the goalposts, because when we say we're targeting criminal aliens and we show you that he has a criminal record and he's in the country illegally, then it becomes, oh, well, he's not that bad. I mean, he beat his girl up, and that boy he had was probably human trafficked, but it wasn't that bad. I mean, come on, ABL, let's get some murderers and killers. Now I'm moving the goalposts. But anyway, I digress.
During this operation, an individual approached U.S. Border Patrol agents with a 9mm semi-automatic handgun. The agents attempted to disarm the individual, but he violently resisted. Fearing for his life and the lives and safety of fellow officers, a Border Patrol agent fired defensive shots. Medics on the scene immediately delivered medical aid to the subject, but the subject was pronounced dead at the scene. The suspect also had 2 loaded magazines and no accessible ID. This looks like a situation where an individual wanted to do maximum damage and massacre law enforcement. Then, about 200 rioters arrived at the scene and began to obstruct and assault law enforcement. Crowd control measures have been deployed for the safety of the public and law enforcement. This situation is evolving, and more information is forthcoming.
There we go. So again, that's a Border Patrol boss, Greg Bovino, all right, out there in Minneapolis, Minnesota. And that cold, we talking about what, like 30 below? I mean, 30 below in the daytime, you're out of your mind. You're out of your mind. Now, here's Eric Swalwell, a.k.a. Homelander,
what I've said is
on CNN talking about ICE. All right, let's go ahead and check it out.
What I've said as governor is I will use the powers of the office. If you're going to wear a mask as an ICE agent in your state, I will take away your driver's license. If you work for ICE, you will be unhirable in the state. If you're going to work for fascists, forget about working in the state. So we are not weak. We have to go on offense. Otherwise, the most vulnerable in our communities are on defense. And I urge every governor to start protecting their people in their state that way.
Do you think every ICE agent on the streets is a fascist?
I think
That's a great question. Great question from CNN. Look at them trying to be a little bit moderate, a little teeny bit moderate. Look at them. Let's hear the answer.
ICE agent on the streets is a fascist?
I think that if you continue to work for them now, seeing what they're doing, dragging women by their hair through the streets, deporting a 4-year-old, battling stage 4 cancer, shooting a mother in the face 3 times, if you still work for them, that's a choice. No one's forcing you to do that. I don't want you working in the state. What I've said is
Okay, there we go. Soft not answering the question because she asked the question directly. Do you think all ICE agents are fascists? And he didn't say yes. Well, if you're working for them, you shouldn't be working here. But that wasn't the question. You're not, listen, when you say things like that, when you make statements like we're not going to be able to work here and we're going to make you persona non grata, when you say something like that, you can't then backpedal when you're challenged on it by a woman, no less. See, Eric Swalwell, I saw him like many years ago. I thought he could be somebody, but a disappointment for sure. Now, of course, I would never vote for a guy like that at all, but I thought he might be a star in the Democratic Party. Disappointment. Ever since Fang Fang, hey man, I don't know, Fang Fang might have got to him, put some in his drink. But anyway, here's Tampon Tim talking. And a lot of these people, your Tampon Tim, your Jacob Fry, Eric Swalwell, Ilhan Omar, they inflame the tensions in Minnesota, in Minneapolis, and the result is people go out there and they crash out. They become crash test dummies and end up dead. And nobody's really going to care. Nobody will care. The only ones who are going to care are those out there on the ground who are causing mischief and getting paid for it. It's not even a genuine concern. They're just trying to find something to latch onto for an excuse to be out there longer getting paid more money. But let's watch this from Tampon Tim, a.k.a. the governor of Minnesota, Tampon Tim Waltz.
Is there any reason to believe that it will be answered differently? Have you had any conversations with the president, with the federal government, and is there any indication that they are going to pull out or back down?
Well, I spoke twice this morning, shortly after I received the call of this shooting. I spoke with the President's Chief of Staff, and first request was to get her people out of there, to get these federal agents out of there. They were going to cause more chaos. And second call is, with no uncertain terms, that we will investigate this. We will not be stonewalled. What we've already seen, and you saw it this morning, before any investigation is done, you have the most powerful people in the federal government spinning stories and putting up pictures and unrelated people who we don't know anything about, and a picture of a firearm to try and spin a narrative. And I ask Americans, this will end when enough Americans say this will end. Do I have any confidence Donald Trump will do the right thing? No, I don't have a lot of confidence Donald Trump will do the right thing.
All right, the interpreter is killing me. First of all, you're making all kind of. First of all, okay, I think that's a woman with a bald, shaved head. So the distraction is multifaceted. I'm trying to figure out if it's a man or a woman. People in their hairstyle and the mannerisms. I believe it's a woman. Making faces with your joint. You're really expressive, and you clapping your hands while you're doing it at the same time. So it's like you're interrupting what he's saying by making noise. I thought you're supposed to be quiet, like a mime. You ain't supposed to make no noise when you're doing your hand gestures. But anyway,
I do have a lot of confidence that the majority of the American people will do the right thing, and I think there cannot be very many people across this country looking right now, after all the reporting that's been done, after everything that's been said, under the pretense that they are here about immigration reform, and quit referring to these people as law enforcement. They are not law enforcement. We have law enforcement who do an incredible job. And to listen to Greg Bovino denigrate the work of our people who are out there cleaning up their mess, no, I don't have a lot of confidence that he himself will do it. But here's what I do have confidence in. There's a whole lot of Republicans, for whatever reason, cannot find their spine. But they might find the ability to know that they're not going to win another election as long as they live unless they stand up for what's right and stand up for the rule of law and stand up for human decency. And that's the moment.
Okay, now, Tim and interpreter, do you think that you guys are the popular ones? Do you think your message is the most popular message? Do you think that, and I'm talking to Tampon Tim Waltz, Tampon Tim, do you think your message is popular among Americans? If you were to go out there today and try to become the president, would you be able to do it? Look, you were already trying to be the vice president, but Kamala, you went out there with that same message. Did it work? If it did, I can't tell because, number one, you're not in office with Kamala. And number two, many of us are telling you that we don't want what you're trying to sell us. We don't want it. We don't want this lawless society, illegal aliens, stealing, killing, shooting, thugging, drugging. We don't want that. So why would you say that we can't win anymore when, again, you ran on this with Kamala as a vice president when she was supposed to be the president. You ran on this and lost. You'll lose again. Believe that. Okay, now let's keep on rocking and rolling. John. Oh, speaking about midterms, here goes Bill Maher saying Republicans are going to lose the midterms because of ICE. Do y'all agree with him? Let's check it out.
John, I'm just going to say it to you. I'm not trying to pick a fight right away, but my prediction is this stuff, your party is going to get the dog shit kicked out of you in the midterms. No, come on. Because this is not what people voted for. And
oh, wait. Bill Maher. You said this is not what people voted for. You said, hold on, let me put it on the screen. You said this is not what people voted for. I beg to differ. I voted for all this. I told y'all during the actual campaign, my chief issue is what? The border, illegal immigrants. I voted for all this. Hey, whenever I see a good ICE raid, whenever I see a child offender get arrested, man, it warms my heart like none other. It warms my heart. You ever had like some fresh baked cookies right out the oven, chocolate chip? I'm talking about, like you've been waiting for it all day and you get one, you about to start crying. That's what I feel like when I see some of these successful ICE raids. I love it. So contrary to your belief, Bill Maher, many of us, I would say the majority of us did vote for this.
Voted for, and they're going to hold the party as responsible as they should.
Well, let me give you my take on it, Bill. You don't have to be Einstein's cousin or a senior at Caltech to know that illegal immigration is illegal. Duh. Those of us who believe that no one is above the law have to concede that folks who are in our country illegally are not above the law either. I support enforcing our immigration laws. Now, how you enforce them matters.
That's the key.
You have to do it.
It's the how.
You have to do it in a
Now, I mean, what's wrong with what's been going on so far? I don't see nothing wrong. Everything look good to me. I don't see no violations. Maybe some don't agree with that, but I don't see no. I'm good with what's been happening.
accordance with due process, equal protection, and Terry v. Ohio, reasonable suspicion. It's okay to protest. It's not okay to protest violently. Violence undermines the morality that you say your movement is built upon.
But
That's right. That's right. Because you can't say we're the good guys. Meanwhile, you shooting people, blocking people from being able to get emergency help and all kind of. You can't say you're the good guy while behaving as the bad guy. You can't say you're the good guy when everybody hates what you're doing. Everybody hates it. It's not a thing that's like even 50-50. It's like at best 95-5. And those who do agree with what's happening with the so-called protesters don't even know any better. They don't know nothing about nothing. What's 2 + 2? I don't know, 17?
5-year-old was not being violent.
I understand.
You know.
We'll get to the whole 5-year-old thing in a minute. Okay, detained a 5-year-old. Nah. How about the father, when he's getting arrested by the Border Patrol, ICE, or whoever, doesn't run off. So the ICE got to protect the boy while he's then ran off and abandoned him. And then there was a story that came out that said that they were trying to get the boy into a house. We'll get to that later. But they said that it was a story about the boy trying to get into a house and people inside said, leave him here. But they tried to do that and it didn't work. They rejected him. So the father, quote unquote, abandoned the boy, and the adults inside the house where he was left also rejected him. So what happens? They got to take him. Which is going to leave him out there in the street to die in the cold in 30-degree below weather? You can't do that. ICE were gracious to stay there with the boy and protect him, unlike the so-called father who ran off and abandoned him. And you know what? The reason why I say so-called father is because I think that was not his father. That was just an adult he was with, and it could be something going on, human trafficking. You don't know what's going on with a lot of these illegal aliens. It's a whole lot of stuff happening south of the border that would make your stomach turn. Okay, now let's watch this video right here. This is kind of controversial because people say, oh, that's AI ABL. That's not a real video ABL. Let's just play it, and I'm going to explain to you kind of what's going on here, okay? And for a little bit of context, this was a protest they had a day or two ago in Minneapolis, Minnesota. They said it was like 10,000 protesters, many of whom, if not all of whom, were bussed in on yellow school buses. But let's watch.
There's well over 10,000 people now in downtown Minneapolis. And honestly, I don't know where most of these people came from. They just literally came out of nowhere. Yellow buses were dropping people off, things like that. Everybody's yelling ICE out. It is very cold, negative 30 degrees here in Minnesota, and all these people are out today. Crazy. There's well.
Okay, now people say, oh, we can't see the people moving. We can't see definition. Okay, understand that he's high up. He's high up looking down with his phone, and you're not going to have the best quality with your phone from that high up. And you can see how high he is because look at see this building right here that you can see in the camera. What's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 stories. And he's obviously much higher than the 6 stories. So maybe maybe you're like 20 floors up, something like that, I would say. Just a guesstimate. If you're 20 floors up looking down at a sea of people, they're going to look small. It's like being in the airplane looking down on the actual ground. Yeah, everything going to look small because you're high up. Now, to give you a little bit of point of reference, so you're able to fact check it for yourself. Okay, you see that building right there? This kind of arch-shaped structure right there? That is the Armory in downtown Minneapolis, which is near the U.S. Bank Stadium. And you can see this building right here that I showed you, the little 6-story building. Well, not little. That is, if you look up the Armory downtown Minneapolis on your Google Maps or whatever, and you get the street view, you'll see the Armory, and it's a park right there, and you see that building like right on it. Now, when you look up the Armory on Google Maps, for example, you'll see the front of it, which has a similar facade, but it's not quite the same. Look in the back of the building. There's a park right there, and then there's a building right there. This is not AI. Okay, and the reason why I posted it is to show that these are most likely paid protesters because it's 30 degrees below zero outside. It's very cold. They're not going to be out there if they were not getting paid, in my humble opinion, especially since they were bussed in. Okay, you don't go outside in that cold of weather on the bus if there's no financial incentive, in my humble opinion. All right. So again, this is not AI, and I fact checked it. I went to the guy's page. Now I could have tagged the guy, but I don't like doing that because what people do is go harass the people and then they try to blame me for it. I got a strike like that one time. Matter of fact, I put out a video about the Section 8 lady. Yeah, I got a strike for that because what the dude said was some of y'all found it and went to his page and left negative comments. So I don't really like to put them out there like that, but I did go to his TikTok page and there were other videos from the same area. Some of them are closer up so you can see that it was not AI. But just know, when I post videos like that, I do my due diligence beforehand. I research and figure out what's really happening. All right, now look, let's go a little bit on the ground with these people. They're doing the same thing they did back in 2020. Remember Seattle, Chaz Chop? They're doing the exact same thing right here. And if you don't remember, or if you were not around during that time in 2020, what they did during the so-called protest over in Seattle, Washington, was set up areas called no-go zones where the police, I guess, were not able to be, and people were just kind of camped out in these blocked off sections. One of them was called Capitol Hill Autonomous Zone, Chaz. Then they changed the name to have CHOP as an acronym, so it became Chaz Chop. This is no different. And by the way, that was mostly white drug addicts who wound up killing not one but two black teenagers, one 19 years old and one 16 years old. So how many black teens will these white drug addicts kill in Minneapolis? Anybody got an over-under on a number? Let me know in the comments, but let's watch. So you see what's happening here. And this, they had blocked off 4 blocks. So what are they going to call this? Mogadishu? Nah, because they white. It's not Somalis. What are they going to call it? Is it going to be Minneapolis Autonomous Zone, MAZ or Maze? Minneapolis Autonomous Zone Exclusive, MAZE. What are they going to call this little area they got set up? How much meth, crack, heroin will be consumed in this area? Y'all let me know. Y'all let me know. Are you? I'm hateful. JGRC, I'm hateful. Really? Me? Mr. Rogers? No cursing, no nothing. After I just said, don't go harass people, leave people alone. I'm the hateful one. Me? That's crazy. And you know what? But that's typical though. People want to tell because they can't get to you no other kind of way. The people who are so-called peaceful are the most hateful all the time. All the time. If that was toward me and not toward somebody else. Because sometimes I'll be trying to play and say, oh, no, I didn't mean it about you, ABL. Oh, okay. Now, speaking about Antifa, we got Antifa in the building. We have Antifa in the building, and they're reporting themselves on the internet. They're showing what they do. When they talk about white domestic terrorists, they try to gaslight you and say it's conservatives. No, the conservatives are the peaceful ones. I'll be your best friend in the world. I'll be your best friend, your best supporter, everything in the world. That's me. I'm one of the nicest guys you're ever going to meet in your life. When they are speaking about the dangerous ones, the ones who can become radicalized, it's guys like this right here. That's them. Hey, I saw that when I was in DC back in the day before J6, this is 2020, they had the Antifa out there. I done told y'all about the mage I saw. Yeah, I saw a mage out there in DC. Hold on, I'm gonna show it again for you guys. Like, this dude had a staff and everything. Like, real talk. So the dude was kind of looked like this a little bit. And I'm not exaggerating. If you've seen this story before, if you've heard it before, you already know. The dude I saw in 2020, before J6, obviously, because that was 2021. The dude I saw looked just like this. He was just like that, but he was bigger. He was kind of like taller than me, and I'm 6'2", 6'3". This guy's like 6'5". He might have been a good 300 pounds, but he was not like overly fat. Like, he might have been a football player at one time back in the day, and he just not super in shape. But he had on some kind of cape, get up, and he had a staff, like just like that. And when we were near him, he was beating his staff on the sewer plate. And then my man was there. Who was there? Black Hannity, Bobby Maxwell. He was there right next to me. I'm like, yo, what are they doing? And he's a DC guy. He was like, that's probably Antifa, and he's probably sending a signal to his friends. Now, I wonder how they were able to get the signal. Are they under the actual ground? Are they in the sewer like Ninja Turtles and Master Splinter? I don't know, but that's what happened. And true story, real life, in real life. Exactly, a Grand Wizard. Oh, ABL, you guys are racist in the conservative party. I can't tell. Who's the Grand Wizard? Whenever anything happens that they don't agree with, the main name they call me is the N-word. Hard R, unapologetic, out in the open. That's what they do. All right, let's keep going here.
My name is Kyle.
So we have an Antifa saying his name, saying what he's going to do, the whole 9 yards. All right, let's watch.
My name is Kyle. I'm Antifa, and there's so much rage in me that I've had to record this like 15 times trying to get the message out. They fucked up, okay? Go watch my other videos. Doesn't matter if you're not here and you're not caught up. You missed the fucking fight. But if you are, it's time to suit up. Boots on the ground. Nicollet and fucking 26th. My house is 4 blocks away. Anywhere between Franklin and Nicollet and 26th and Nicollet. Show up, ready to go. Okay, not talking about peaceful protests anymore. We're not talking about having polite conversations anymore. I am talking specifically to my fucking followers. This is everything I have fucking talked about, and this is exactly what I said was gonna happen. This is exactly what I said was gonna fucking come when we didn't fucking go and march on fucking Whipple with guns. Sorry, but welcome to America 2026, where Second Amendment is the only thing that's going to keep you fucking protected from literal fucking Nazi gunmen that are killing innocent people in the street with impunity. This is not a fucking joke. There's nothing fun to chant about it. Get your fucking guns and stop these fucking people.
Okay, there's an Antifa guy. Now look. Pam Bondi, yeah, I got one right here. I got one. His name is, I don't know what his name is, but look, Pam, I'm gonna send you the video. He said where he's at. You guys can triangulate him. You can ping his TikTok and figure out where he's at. Go get him. Go get him, because clearly this guy's a threat. This guy is a big threat. I can guarantee you, all games, jokes aside, I can guarantee you that right there, this video put him on the radar if he was not already, which I'm sure he was. Pam, come on, go get him. The time he told you where he's at. Triangulate that. Now, speaking of the white liberal, as I was saying earlier, the racism I get from them is unique. It's like the purest form of racism you can get in the world. It's the absolute purest. I don't know where they get it, from a cave somewhere hidden in the bottom of the Pacific Ocean. I don't know where they source this racism from, but it's the purest. Let's watch.
Half of DHS employees are non-white. So what would you say to those black and Hispanic ICE agents and Border Patrol agents?
They're traitors to their race and to their ethnicity.
They're traitors to their race?
Yes.
Maybe they're people who came here legally, and they don't want to see people come here illegally and break our laws.
F*** you.
Oh, I thought we were having a good conversation. Why are you saying that?
Don't you give me this shit.
Can you have a cordial conversation with somebody on the other side?
No.
Why not?
Because it has already been established that you guys are not interested in anything except your own agenda.
I'm also a Latino American, and I support ICE enforcing immigration law. Would you say I'm a traitor to my race?
Yes.
As a Latino American, are you even interested in hearing my side of the conversation, or you just said F me?
Listen, I've heard this side of the conversation. I understand that there are people who are legitimately worried about there being the dilution of white American blood by Latino.
You're dumb. Like, he is Hispanic. And you're talking about, you're worried about. Okay, I'm getting triggered. I'm gonna let him finish. I'm getting triggered.
White American blood.
Hold on. Let me start from right here.
Heard the side of the conversation. I understand that there are people who are legitimately worried about there being the dilution of white American blood by Latinos and black people and people from Somalia.
That's not what I'm worried about. Do you think that the 50% of ICE agents that aren't white are doing that, honestly?
Yes.
Do you think black and Hispanic ICE agents are profiling people because they hate their race?
No, because they are more interested in the agenda.
The agenda is to remove illegal aliens from this country.
There we go. So, yeah, shout out to my man, the Latino American. Okay, shout out to him. Right on point. But the white liberal, they say, you're a race traitor. You hate yourself if you want to be involved with ICE. How does it make sense? Trump came out and said that ICE is largely Hispanic. It could even be majority Hispanic. Or if not majority, maybe the biggest group in ICE are Hispanics. Because they understand what everybody else in this country who has a brain understands. You cannot have a country that operates in any kind of way properly if you're just awash with illegal aliens, scamming, fraud, all kind of criminal activity. You can't have that. You cannot have that. So they get it, and they have rose to the occasion to get the illegal element out. They came from their country of origin to come to America for a better life. They don't want the criminal element to follow them from their country of origin. And it's not just Hispanics that come over here illegally, because it's the entire world. The whole world, every country on earth. Canadians come over here illegally. Everyone comes here illegally. And the objective of ICE is to get them out, especially the ones who commit crimes while they're here. That's going to be the first priority, and everybody else as well.
I'm here.
All right, we got a protester. She's there because she says ICE killed a cult woman in cold blood.
I'm here because ICE murdered a woman in cold blood by shooting her 4 times in the head. Jonathan Ross, specifically, if you don't know his name, he's made his life's goal to, assault and murder people like Gestapo, ICE, Nazi tactics. My first, big election that I ever saw in my life was Trump getting elected the first time. And people keep saying that this isn't the America that they fought for, but this is the America that I've grown up with, and I'm tired of it. So I'm here to make the America that I want to see. I want a socialist America. I want an America where billionaires don't control my life. The nurses are having their union fight, which I fully agree with. I mean, back in California, Kaiser nurses strike, and we support the nurses there. Nurses are the frontline workers. They are important people that should be respected. My dad's a teacher. Any teacher strikes or strikes for colleges, I completely support. The real issue is the billionaires keeping us down. Billionaires have done this for years with identity politics stuff. It's one day it's trans people are the issue, one day it's immigrants, but we are all working class. It doesn't matter if you're gay, straight, black, brown, white, anything. We're all working class, and we all need to work together to take down the people actually making our lives hell. Corporate Democrats are just as bad because they stand by and capitulate and just condone the actions of that. It's the same thing with ICE funding right now. They are trying to push through a funding bill that's going to fund ICE more, and there's many corporate Democrats who are for that, which is ridiculous. We're here because they murdered a woman in cold blood. Everybody saw that. This cannot be acceptable, not just in our own country, but around the world. The Democrats, once again, see people be genocided against and do nothing. Remember Renee?
All right, there we go. That's enough from this particular individual right there with this humongous mask on. I don't know what the gender is because sometimes I get a little bit confused. But listen, at the end of the day, your philosophy about socialism, that being the way to go forward, is not very popular. It's not very popular. It never works. Okay. And the thing about it is, this is not North Korea. you are not in North Korea. You're free to go to wherever you want. You should find a socialist place and live there. Since you love socialism so much, go to a socialist place, go to a communist place and live there. And if you have not done that, then I got to ask the question, why? Why haven't you done it? You love it so much, why not just go there? Because America is still the best. Love it or hate it, it doesn't really matter. You know, I believe that you're in the best place for you, the US of A. And I'm hearing that voice. I don't know what's going on. Are you a transformer? It kind of sounds like it. What better place is there for you specifically in the world other than the US of A? I can't call it. Can y'all? Is that a guy's voice sounds high pitch? Listen, at this point, I don't know, man. These genders be kind of blending together. Especially when they got on face masks, big as their whole head. I don't know what's happening. Then they put themselves on hormones and stuff like this. It'd be like, yo, if I got to kind of like guess your gender, I ain't even going to try to play the game. Now, here are the people out there throwing snowballs at the ICE agents at the Whipple Federal Building in Minneapolis. That's what they keep talking about. Oh, we got to go to Whipple. We got to go to Whipple. This is the infamous Whipple where they like to throw snowballs at the ICE agents in their vehicles. What happens if one of those snowballs goes through one of these windows? What happens at that point? And then there's a conflict that ensues. Who would be at fault? The ICE agents or the ones throwing the snowballs who initiated the whole confrontation? Who would be at fault at that point? Man, it's also tiring. Now, some said, why drive slow? I think it's because it's ice right there. I think. I'm not sure why else they would drive slow. Excuse me. Yeah, but I think it's because it's ice right there. That's my, not ICE agents, but ice on the actual ground from the weather. Now, there are a bunch of donations for these people. So they're being funded in multiple ways. Cash monies, donations of clothing, hats, warm stuff, because you're out there in brutally cold temperatures. I mean, I'm not really sure how you can quantify, how you can express with words just how cold 30 degrees below zero is, or how cold 45 below wind chill is on your body. I'm not sure you can really quantify that. I'm not sure you can really express that with actual words. You got to feel it. And I don't recommend you go out there and feel it.
I live right there. I got some little yeah, I had to come out. Right there with my face. I'm having a girlfriend.
Now, one thing about them, man, you know what? Okay, I got another video that's going to kind of highlight this, but these people are not very smart. These people are, I'm talking about one deviation above total retardation, one deviation above just not really being there. Reading is difficult. I didn't say it. They think 2 + 2 is 17. Do you see the issue right here with this particular sign? Is that how you spell designer? I don't think so. Where is the G? Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that at all. We don't got to spell things right because we're not intelligent anyway. We can't really read. This is the revolt or the retarded. And again, to those who are mentally disabled, I ain't talking about you. I'm talking about those who are just, you know, bottom of society, kind of the scum, the dregs of society. That's pretty much who's there. That's pretty much who's there. Okay. And matter of fact, hold on. Can I find that video right quick? I had it kind of later, but I want to show it right now because it makes sense. I might not have it. Oh, man, I might not have it, but it's fine. It is okay. Matter of fact, now I got to find it. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Where was that at anyway? It wasn't this one. Hold on. It wasn't this one here. Oh, here it is. I got it. Okay, I thought I didn't have it. Okay. All right. So this person right here is not really a big fan of ICE. Okay. Again, the gender, I'm going to assume female. Okay. I don't want to make a wrong assumption, but let's just watch this.
All right, y'all. I have to show you this. Feel that chill? Immigration Customs Enforcement in Massachusetts.
Okay, now there are some errors here on this sign. Okay, ICE. That is spelled well. It's you need to have a period after the E. You know they put periods in between, but not at the end when you abbreviate I period, C period, E period, and that was throughout the entire thing. Is that spelled right, Massachusetts? Hold on. They might have got that right. Yeah, they got that right, Massachusetts. Okay. I was kind of looking at that. Shipment of white black Ford Explorer seen at Burlington ICE, again, wrong. Detention Center. Disperse. Is that how you spell disperse? DISPERCEED? DISPERCED. Is that how you spell disperse? I think not. I think there's supposed to be a S right there where the C is. Disperse cars throughout Brockton. Lawrence, where's the R? Lawrence, Quincy, and Revere. Ford Explorers will likely not have roof racks, possibly have out of state plates due to being Bang, BENG. Where's the I? See what I'm saying? These people are just kind of dumb. They don't know anything. They don't know anything about it. They can't spell. They don't know about any kind of laws, civics. They know nothing. They don't understand anything, let alone what they're actually out there doing. Okay, when you can't spell basic words on your flyer, it's like, come on, man. Would it be? Hey, they must have gone to the Leering Center. These are Leering Center graduates. These are Leering Center alumni. Hey, you went to the Leering Center? What was your GPA? What's that mean? Exactly. Exactly. Oh my goodness. Hey, they be on their phone all day, have access to all kind of Chat GPT and Grammarly and stuff like that. Even if you put it in your phone and typed it, it would have autocorrected. It's like, come on, let's stop. Anyway, I had to show that one. That was crazy. Now, this is the original Black Panther Party general, Mike Payne, talking about the protests and how the Black Panthers are not involved. Contrary to what that one light-skinned dude from another Panther organization said, the original Black Panther Party general, Mike Payne, says, we're not involved with what's happening with ICE as far as any kind of protests are concerned. All right, let's go ahead and check it out.
Our stance is, for illegals. We're not going to step in front of that. That's not our fight. That has nothing to do with us. We're not going to step into that fight and going through the community defending somebody that we didn't even want to be here. You know what I mean? We got brought over here. We didn't want to be here. And this is a problem we've had since our shackled feet have hit the soil. So we've always had the SWAT teams coming in our communities, doing whatever they're doing. And sometimes, yes, they do pick up the wrong people and things of that nature. This is the same situation. It's just got a different name. It's a raid. It's just a different name. And so, yeah, we're not in that fight. But as far as our other brown folks and things like that, we do stand up and defend, the citizens and the poor and the things like that. But as far as illegal immigration, yeah, that's not our fight. That's not something we need to get into. All
right, there we go. Now, the entire statement, it was cool. Wasn't the best entire statement, but the ultimate point about them not getting involved, that's not our fight. I like that. I like it a lot because it's not your fight. What they got to do with you? What's it got to do with you? It's not your fight. Really, the only ones who should be quote unquote fighting are the criminal aliens who don't want to leave. That should be the only ones who are fighting. Maybe a lot of those who are out there so-called protesting have picked that up because they don't know anything. They're being paid. Like, okay, if you are a Starbucks barista, you can't even get no hours. You're getting like 2 hours a week or something crazy like this. You'll go out there and quote unquote protest for ICE if there's money involved. You've been on social media. They've convinced you to take up that cause, to feel sympathy for them, and there's money involved to go out there and do it. But these guys are smart enough to understand that that's not our fight. And they're right. It's not their fight. It's not anyone's fight other than those who are out there illegally. And ultimately, we want them to lose that fight so they can get up out of here. All right, let's keep on rocking and rolling. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Now, look. This woman is out there trying to be an observer or whatever, and the agent tells her something that has her a little bit shook. And I'm glad he said it because it'll make her think twice about doing things like this in the future. Check it out.
What you guys are doing here? Yeah. Look at them. Look at them. The ICC guys, be careful. Be careful. They're over here.
It's not illegal to record.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing.
Yeah. Why are you taking my information down?
Because we have a nice little database.
Oh, good.
And now you're considered a domestic terrorist. So
We're videotaping you? Are you crazy?
Now, that could have just been a little, he could have been trying to scare her or something like this. But I hope there's a database. I hope there is, because these people follow ICE agents. They stalk them. They can become dangerous. So if they're able to kind of get your information and see what's going on, okay, we got your picture, we got your plate, we got your address wherever you live at, your general area where you are. Okay, now you're on the list. Hey, one day they're going to try to get a ticket to a faraway destination. Excuse me. They're going to try to get a passport and go somewhere. They're going to try to go to Europe. They're going to try to go to Australia, Africa, Asia, somewhere. Sorry, you can't board. Huh? Yeah, you're on a no-fly list. A no-fly list? What happened? Well, you know, back in the day with ICE and all that, yeah, that's what happened. So, hey, man, sorry, not sorry. You can't board this plane. Hey, man, it is what it is. Now, it might not come to that, but they're gonna notice who you are. They're going to keep a record of you because they're probably going to see you again. So if they see you before you approach them, they can make preemptive steps to neutralize whatever you got going on. All right. Hold on. Christopher says, ABL, you mean? You lost me here. You must. Okay, Christopher, let's stop the drinking, bro. Hey, Chris, put that bottle down. You got a bottle that got 3 X's right here. You chugging it. But I'm just playing. So I'm saying, when you are harassing officers, they're going to notice who you are. If not for a database, they're going to take note of who you are. Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you? Because a lot of these people are part of a larger organization. So you should document them and see what's going on and ultimately make a connection. If there's a bigger fish to fry, through all the small connections you make, you could get the bigger fish. Because the bigger fish, in my humble opinion, are stoking civil unrest. So the best way to not be on the police's radar, the FBI radar, is to not harass federal agents, to not harass police. That's probably a good way to keep off their radar. What do y'all think? All right, so she is responding to the MAGAs about ICE in Washington.
To about a third of you that are commenting on my video about me seeing ICE presence in Lacey, Washington, we definitely identify as problems for ICE officers when we see them. We are not going to go up to them unless they are in the middle of trying to take someone. But if they are in the middle of trying to take someone, they will have to go through us. To about a third of you that are commenting.
All right. So again, this is not what you want to do. You don't want to approach, harass, intimidate anything to law enforcement, ICE agents, Border Patrol, police. Don't do it. When you do that, you're putting yourself in harm's way for what? For what purpose? When they're out there doing their lawful actions, when they're out there getting illegal aliens off the street into custody, you stay out the way. Let them do their job. I don't come to your job throwing fries on the ground, hamburgers on the ground, wearing a little Burger King crown on my head. I don't do that at your job. So leave them be at their job. Again, shout out to Washington State. Again, they go back Seattle, Washington. That was the epicenter of a lot of the 2020 riots and whatnot. Now, she says there are no words to explain how crazy it is to live in America right now. All right, hold on. There are no words to explain how crazy it is to exist in America right now. Check it out.
If you guys feel insane trying to work today, I just want to say, me too. I genuinely, the picture of the little boy in his hat, like, how am I supposed to answer emails, you know? I feel so crazy, like this is too much.
Okay, so she's referring to the boy who they say got detained by ICE, a little 5-year-old boy, who was, again, abandoned by his so-called father when the father was being approached by ICE because he's here illegally and he's a criminal with the illegality. But anyway, they were trying to detain the father. The so-called father leaves, abandons the boy. They ask other adults who were there, hey, you want to take him in? Nope, we don't want him. So they had to protect the boy and make sure that he was good, getting him some food, trying to comfort him, making sure that he was all right. That's what happened. Now, the boy, I believe, got reunited with his father or the so-called father at a center in Texas, which is what should happen. Hey, if you are an illegal alien here and they get you, they deport you, but you got kids with you, they're going to ask you, hey, you got two options. Do you want the kid to be here with a family member that you designate, or do you want them to go with you? I think that's fair. Okay. Had a little boy stay with a family member and he good. Or y'all go back together. Your choice. But it can't be both. That's not really how it works. You can't have everything you want because you're here illegally anyway. Oh, and guess what? Remember when they first came out with the app, the CBP Home app? As I said before in previous videos, if you are here illegally and you want to self-deport, you're going to get two main things. First, a free plane ticket to wherever you want in the world. Did you come from Djibouti, Africa? Did you come from Kyrgyzstan in Asia? Did you come from some random podunk corner of the world? You're going to get a free flight back. And on top of that, 2,600 US American cold hard cash dollars. And you're able to come back at a certain point legally if you take that deal. That's a great deal to me. $2,600 and a free ticket. I'm good. I am good to go back home. But they don't want to do it. All right, well, watch this. When we catch you, you're going to be forcibly removed from the country, and you're going to be banned for 10 years or something like this. Hey, try to come in again, you're going to get deported immediately. And once we catch you, we're going to have all your vital, you're going to have your fingerprint, your retina scan, your name, you're going to have all of that. So if you come back, we're going to know it's you. A fair deal, right? It's a great deal. Obama could never. Obama didn't do that. Did Obama give free flights and money and all that kind of stuff? maybe a flight at best, and they put you on JetBlue in the back. Matter of fact, I got a picture. I'm going to show it during this stream. I always talk about the picture. I always talk about the little incident with the illegal alien that I had on my flight one time. I'm going to show that picture because there's nothing that's going to identify who it is, because it's like from the back. But I'm going to show you that picture. Okay. Now, this person right here, looking very cozy in their couch, bed, whatever, is talking about how crazy it is to live in Minnesota right now under an occupation of the military. Check it out.
It is fucking wild to be living in a military occupation and watch the rest of the US just go on as normal. And if you're out there feeling hopeless and like you're not doing enough, we're there with you, and we're still fucking showing up on the streets every day. So I don't know what to tell you. The time to act is now. If you've been complacent, it's a little late, but it's better to be late than never. It is.
Okay, so for someone living under military occupation, you appear to be very calm, very cozy. If this is what it looks like to be occupied by a military force, it ain't that bad. It's all right. You're pretty good. Got your little blankie and your pillows, your little iPhone 18 Plus Ultra Max. You good. You're totally good. I'm not really feeling like you're in a desperate situation, like things are at critical mass. I don't really see that right here from you. You are totally okay. So shout out to the men with Border Patrol, with ICE, the police, everybody keeping you safe right now. If not for them, your town right now would be a mess. You wouldn't really be able to be so comfy in your bed. Believe you me, you would not be able to be so comfy in your bed right now. But yeah, shout out to everybody out there. ICE agents, Border Patrol, police, everybody. You guys are doing a fantastic job. All right, now we got a few more things I want to get through here. All right, hold on. This is a good one. This is them saying the quiet part out loud. Hey, if ICE is successful in Scottsdale, Arizona, all the restaurants, any place that needs actual workers would just stop functioning. Let's watch.
If ICE is successful in Scottsdale, all of our restaurants would be shut down, all of our landscaping would be gone, and all of the hotels would have to shut down. What else? It's a lot. Hopefully you guys are thinking about your community and the possibility that they will ignore that most of you are Republicans and filthy rich and just go after you like everyone else. Oh, and there'd be nobody to clean the hotels, the restaurants, all the fancy multi-million dollar homes on the mountain and everywhere else. I mean, if they stick to what they're doing, Scottsdale would shut down completely if they were successful. If ICE...
Okay, so there's a lot there. First of all, so is that your view of illegal aliens? You probably view them as Hispanic maids in the hotel. That's how you view illegal aliens. First of all, they're not all illegal. I'm not sure how many of them are illegal in a hotel, but you don't have to be an illegal alien to do these jobs. I've done restaurant work. I did it 5 years when I was young, age 17 to like 21, 22. 5 years in the restaurant. And I washed dishes. I did the grunt work, taking out trash, heavy trash. Like that most people can never, most people can never do what I was doing back there and really do it for a long time and really just enjoy what I was doing. On your feet all day, open the clothes, heavy stuff. It stinks back there. It's dirty back there. Hey, one of my favorite things to do, it was kind of a little gross, but not really, to get the little sewer grate out, because in the back at the dish machine, we had these two grates where we would just be, sweeping up and sweep a lot of the debris and stuff toward the gate. We get a lot of it up with a dustpan, but some of it would just get right there in the, in the grate. food, straw, silverware, everything would be in this grate. So you didn't get all of that to go into the actual drain and clog it up. You got to clean it sometimes. That basket come out. Oh, man, it was rough. But, yeah, we did that. All black folks back there. Okay, it wasn't really a thing like... And in the other part of the kitchen, you had white, black, everything back there. We clean, we cook, we do the whole thing. You don't have to be here illegally to do those kind of jobs. If you got a place where they're dependent upon illegal alien labor, that's on them. That's on them. That's not anybody's fault other than theirs. And guess what? Without illegal aliens, if that's all the labor that exists in Phoenix or Scottsdale, they'll adjust. If they don't, oh well. And guess what? If they don't adjust, that's not going to stop a millionaire or billionaire from being a millionaire or a billionaire. They're still going to be just fine. And guess what? If Scottsdale shut down, if that town just kind of goes away, these rich guys will just move to a better place. That's the reality of it. So yeah, and you know what? A lot of guys got private chefs and private maids and nannies and stuff like that. They don't rely on what you're going to rely on, which is illegal alien labor.
Let me just go.
We have a bus driver with a message for ICE. Okay, we got a bus driver with a message for ICE.
Let me just go ahead and make one thing clear. You see this bus? Probably shouldn't be filming on it. There's no kids here though, so I think it's okay. Let me make one thing clear, buddy. If I pull up to a bus stop and I notice an ICE agent, an unmarked vehicle, anything of the sort, I will not be opening my doors. Buddy, I'm not letting those kids off. No. You think you're going to snatch my little kids off my bus and take them and detain them? No. It will be always and forever fuck ICE, even while I'm on the job. Let me just go ahead.
All right, there we go. So shout out to Danny or whatever her name is, Wyndham Androgynous. Hey, my name is Danny. Hey, kids, how are you? Check her phone. Just saying. Anyway, it's funny how people like this will say that ICE are kidnapping people, but what you just said is called kidnapping. If you refuse to open the door and you keep the kids on the bus, that's called kidnapping. You can go to jail for that. You sure can. So Danny or whatever your name is, don't do that. Don't go to jail for kidnapping them kids, and they're not your kids. You're the bus driver. You should get them to their destination safely. That's it. But when you say, I'm not opening the door, these are my kids, nah, you can't do that now. And I think she thinks that ICE are targeting kids. That's not going on. What's happening is the parents are being targeted and the kids wind up being there. So now where do the kids go? You could be an illegal alien with a kid. That does not preclude you from being deported. An anchor baby is a child that's born in the USA. A lot of these kids come from a different country and they're here illegally as well. But we're still gracious. We'll say, you know what? If the kid's not a citizen, the kid's here illegally, but the parent is being deported, the kid can stay with someone who's here. Or y'all go together. What are we doing? Pick your poison. But yeah, shout out to Danny. Don't do that, bro, sis, whatever. That's called kidnapping. You don't want that to happen. You don't want that to happen. All right. Now, we got some more here. This is going to be a Somali talking about, you know, there's been so much deportation, so much fear. People are not really coming down here. You know, riots and stuff like that are not going to help the situation. But there's so much happening in Minnesota, so much happening with ICE in Minneapolis that everything's dead. Business is slow. So we might have to shut down. I'm surprised she's doing actual real work because you got so much scamming happening. But anyway.
Everybody was dreaming to open business this small, but not anymore. It's very slow. We're not making any money. If this problem continues, I don't think we can have our businesses.
I live South Minneapolis. If you walk around, like, you know, you think nobody leaves the area.
I think ICE is here to destroy it, the Minneapolis, harassing people, closing our businesses.
We have to come out and, fight our rights.
I was volunteering last 3 days to explain in my community and tell them how important it is to do assembly, to do the protesting.
ICE, we will see you.
Everybody was.
The funniest thing here is the American flag scarf. It's like, okay, what's that all about? You want to protest ICE while wearing the American flag on your body? That's hilarious. Are you trying to like throw off the ICE agents? Hey, I'm an American. I'm American. See my scarf. I'm American. Don't get me. I'm just an American. I'm not scum. No scum. I'm an American. See? American flag. USA. Man, the Somalis, they're funny. They're really funny. Shout out to the Somalis out there in Minnesota. All right, let's keep rocking and rolling here. If you like what you're hearing so far, you know what to do. Please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Okay, here's the whole thing about them detaining a little boy, which was not real. Okay, the boy got abandoned by the father. Let's watch some of this right quick.
We have more to get to, including even more tense clashes between protesters and federal agents in Minneapolis. One incident in the spotlight showing demonstrators confronting officers and the nation's Border Patrol commander, who was then seen throwing a gas canister into the crowd. All of this as Vice President J.D. Vance heads to Minneapolis today. NBC's Maggie Vespa joins us with the very latest on this one. Maggie, good morning.
Chanel, good morning. The vice president traveling here.
Let's go ahead a little bit because they kind of like talking about some other stuff.
After warning started because trying to use a bath to stop here, a local school district who's sounding alarms. They say about 4 of their students taken into ICE custody, including a 5-year-old boy who they say was detained with his father in the family's driveway. The district alleges that another adult in the home begged agents to leave the child with them, but that the agents refused. NBC News reached out to DHS about this overnight for comment. They didn't respond to us, but the agency did tell the Washington Post that their policy is to ask parents if they want to be removed with their children or be placed with a person designated by the parent. And all of this comes as the administration now appears to be or is expanding their immigration operations to the state of Maine, calling that one Operation Catch of the Day and stressing there, like they have done here in Minneapolis.
That is hilarious. Catch of the Day in Maine, a big fishing place. Hilarious.
That they're apprehending, in their words, the worst of the worst criminals. Guys.
All right, Maggie, thank you.
There we go. So again, they're showing a little boy's face because normally when you get kids involved, they censor their face. But because, oh, he's so adorable, they wouldn't show their face to pull at your heartstrings. But the truth, again, he was abandoned by the dad when ICE pulled up on the dad, and ICE had to stay there with the boy to protect him until they could figure out what's going on with the dad, the so-called dad, probably not even his father. All right, so that's mainstream media doing what they do. That is them doing what they do. Now, somebody said something about the bananas. I almost forgot about that part. Going back to the Somalis. Okay, so she's trying to explain what being Somali is like. I don't know why she was trying to do this, but this is her. This is kind of going viral a little bit. I kind of got what she was saying, but you guys got to find more articulate people to speak for you. Let's watch this, shall we?
So I'm Somali. I'm proud to be Somali. To me, being Somali.
Oh, before we continue, she has a big Band-Aid right there because she was out there protesting and got hit by something. I'm not sure. A rubber bullet. I don't know what she got hit by. But let's start from the top, shall we?
So I'm Somali. I'm proud to be Somali. To me, being Somali isn't just eating bananas with rice. It's a lot. It's like it's an interesting thing. It's very hard to describe what it means to be Somali and what it means to be American, but it's like a cultural fusion. It's kind of like the bananas and rice. You know, people don't really see, like, you know, it's you know, people don't think, oh, you can eat bananas with rice, but that's what it's like to be Somali and American. It's like that combination of banana and rice, but you're gonna get what I mean.
All righty. So did you guys catch that? like, I kind of got it. It's like, you are both cultures. I guess she was trying to say that, but the bananas and rice, she was stuck on that. It couldn't think about anything else. Like, I don't know, man. It's just something wrong. They're not really, the education, you could tell there's a big gap in education with a lot of them. They don't know anything except for how to scam and fraud. Well, they know that real well. They play dumb, but they know how to scam and fraud like experts. You're talking about platinum scams. The scams of the century come from them. Because you know what's funny? What's funny about Somalis, I got a theory. Hear me out. Somalis are kind of like Indians mixed with Africans. So you're getting the best of both worlds when it comes to scamming, in my humble opinion. But anyway, so yeah, I kind of got that, but yeah, pick somebody else. Get Muhammad to pick another girl to go out there and talk for you. That's what I would say. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. Help me out tremendously. Now look, so we saw Pam Bondi announce that they got 3 of the so-called protesters at the church storming that happened on Sunday, but 2 been released. 2 been released. The 2 black women got released. Hold on. Nakima Levy Armstrong and her accomplice, what's her name? Chlorophyll? Y'all know what I'm talking about. Some kind of crazy name. Chantil? I think it was Chantil. I don't know. Chlorophyll, cholesterol, chlorine, Clorox. I don't know. Y'all know what I'm talking about, though. But anyway.
Okay.
How are you?
Good to see you.
So the lady that Don Lemon is kissing right there, yeah, she got released.
We're on. We're not saying what it is, what's going on, but thank you.
And then the lady right there in the fur right behind Don, over his shoulder, she was arrested and released as well. That does not mean there's no charges. It means they were released from custody. Now, the white guy, Mr. William Kelly from D.C., the D.C. operative, he's still in detention from what I'm able to gather. Okay, and just so you know, Chantil Allen, I didn't say every name, Chlorophyll, Clorox, Clearasil, anyway. So that's Chantil Allen right there with the mugshot. Okay, she was in custody, but's been released, but she's still being charged. Now let's go to the other guy.
Yes.
This guy right here, Mr. William Kelly, who is a well-known provocateur, a well-known agent of chaos.
Yesterday, I went into a church with Nakima Armstrong and I protested these white supremacists. A pastor of the church is a fucking ICE leader in the city.
As you can see, all these pretend Christians, all these comfortable white people who are living lavish, comfortable lives.
So yeah, not to play that again, but you get the idea. That's him. That's the guy who was arrested and he's still in custody. So he's not been released as of yet. Matter of fact, I'm gonna just fact check myself. William Kelly. Yes, he's still in custody, not been released because there's probably more there than the other women, and I'm sure there's more there. The other women are just local to Minnesota. He is a guy who travels the country doing this. Now, let's talk about the freeze, the winter storm right quick. I spoke on there earlier about you guys hoarding all kind of milk and bread. I'm going to ask y'all again, if you weren't here in the beginning of the show, why do y'all do that? Why, when there's a storm of any sort, ice storm, rainstorm, windstorm, green storm, blue storm, red storm, it don't matter what the kind of storm is. Whenever there's a storm and they say, hey, the roads might be a little dangerous, it might be you might be home for a while. Why do y'all go out and do stuff like this? Watch, hold on. Why, oh why, do y'all go out and do stuff like this? Tell me the reason. Anybody want to chime in? Hold on, anybody want to chime in on why you do stuff like this? Why must you buy all the milk in the store? What are you going to do with that? What are you going to do with that? Now, some say, well, it's a guy from the store trying to hoard it and then to sell at a higher rate than normal. Okay, maybe. But I see regular normies who I know are not people that own little corner stores doing the exact same thing. Why? Please stop. Please stop. This is not smart. It's not smart. It's just not the thing to do. I just don't really get it. And we got more. This is a Walmart pickup line before the storm. And I don't know when that became the hot thing to do, to just buy things online, like have somebody shop for you and get it put in your car. I don't really understand that. I mean, if you're like 1,000 years old, or you got like one leg and that don't work, you got to pretty much scoot around. I get it. But if you're like me, you can like walk and talk, and I would never go to Walmart and have them put stuff in my car like that. But hey, to each his own. I'm not judging, but I am a little bit. Let's watch. Let's get some sound right quick. That might help.
This is the line to go get a pickup order at Walmart. Okay, convince me that the weatherman and the Walmart are not in cahoots. They obviously are. This is insane.
No bread, water. And the thing about it is, the store was empty. Just go in the store and buy this stuff. Why would you do that? Well, maybe they bought that like that because they thought if they didn't, when they went to the store, it'd be none there. I don't know. But why must you get all that though? Now, I know all those cars are not people that own stores. I know that for a fact. Okay. I know that for a fact. Hey, you know what? If you were at Wally World today, God bless you. God bless you. I would never. Going to Wally World today, like on the day of the storm, it's like going to Wally World on the first of the month if Trump was to say that there's no more food stamps after this month. Hey, if Trump got on TV and said, hey, America, spend your food stamps now, there'll be no more come tomorrow. If he did that, then I would not go to any store at all in anywhere near me. Nowhere. Not even Costco. I wouldn't go nowhere. It'd be a madhouse. Now, speaking of madhouse, here we go. Speaking about, this appears to be Costco. Speaking of the devil, right? All right, let's watch this. Why? You're not gonna need that much water. Do you guys eat water for breakfast? Like, do you drink water? Do you drink one of these every 2 seconds? You're not gonna need that much. Really, let me tell you something. I might have a bottle of water during the day. Maybe not even that much, because the food I eat has so much water in it. I'm eating water-rich food. When I fasted for 3 days, I was dehydrated beyond belief because the water that I normally consume is in my food. You don't need that much water. What are you preparing for? The zombie apocalypse? Are you preparing for Jesus to come back? What are you getting ready for? Like, what are we doing? I don't get it. All right, now look. Here's a Costco run with all of the toilet paper in the whole store. Just like they did during COVID, right? All of the TP in this man's house. All right, I'm gonna turn it down. We just got music in the background. Look, milk, paper towels, toilet paper. Where you gonna put all this stuff? Like, what are we even doing? Processed food, just BS. What is it? Tell me the reason. Tell me the reason. Now, they could have a store, but I don't think so. I highly doubt it. That might just be a Costco run because they got scared because of the storm. Because it's not very organized. It's not very organized at all. All right, now look. I got a question for you. Oh, hold on, before I show that. This might be an older video, but if you go to Wally World and they got steaks locked up, hey, if your steaks are behind bars at your Wally World, you might be in the wrong part of town. Okay, if your steaks are in the penitentiary making big rocks, little rocks, you might be in the wrong part of town.
Y'all doing Walmart so bad, they gotta lock they steaks up, boy. They not playing with y'all now. $45 for a steak, and they locking them motherfuckers up tight. What y'all done did to Walmart? Y'all doing
Yo, if your steaks are locked up, you might be in the wrong place. Nah, that ain't really it, man. I'm not trying to get no incarcerated steak. I want free range steak, and that means when they were living and afterwards as well. That's what I want. Really, I'm gonna go to a butcher. I want it to be bloody on the table. Boom, no packaging, no nothing, right there on the table. It'd be a fly on it. That's totally fine. I want that. I don't want the incarcerated beef. Yeah, that ain't really what I want. Now look, I got a question. Is this the appropriate? Is this the correct thing to do? Is it appropriate to put this box right here by this sign? And you're gonna see the sign in a minute. Hold on. So the sign says, "Stop. No delivery trucks or vans beyond this point."
OMG. Now this is as stupid could get. I mean, come on. Just stop it.
Look, I'm not mad at it because, okay, I'm putting myself in the UPS driver's shoes. I'm driving my truck. You know how you be bound. I'm driving the truck. And then I pull up to this house. Okay, boom, a little turnaround. We just pull up right there. And I can put the package right at the door and be on my way. And I know this sign had to have been made by the homeowner because you don't see that sign nowhere else. It's on their property. They made that sign themselves. Just for me. All right, you want to play like that? Well, check it out. I'll put your package right here. Look, I'm not trying to walk up on your house or drive too far or make you upset because the sign is for me already. So don't worry about it. I'll put your box right next to the sign. So are we going to give it a thumbs up? Is that a thumbs down? What do y'all think? Should the driver just park right there and walk to the door? Or should he just park right there and put the package right there? What do y'all think? Y'all let me know. All right. And I had to play this one right quick. Hold on. This had to have been played. I got to play this. Okay. Now, this woman asks, hey, where does taxpayer money come from? You guys say the taxpayers shouldn't be paying for this, the taxpayer this, taxpayer that. If taxpayer money goes to welfare recipients, then how do they get their money? How does that really work?
So if the food stamp money comes from taxpayers, where did the money come to give to taxpayers? Riddle me that one. Serious question. Where'd it come from? Since y'all so smart and y'all know it alls. Where exactly did the taxpayer money come from? Where did the money start from? Is money even real?
Okay, now I'm gonna try to answer your question best I can. The taxpayer money comes from whatever they do to generate the revenue. Like, I don't know, a job. If they had a job before, it could be a retirement, it could be a pension, it could be savings. They could have made investments. It originates from a bank and you got loans and stuff like that. Well, if you want to get real deep, money comes from debt because it comes from a bank that gives out loans. That's how it originates. But you're able to earn it through whatever you do, through whatever you have done in your life that would generate money, whether it be your labor, whether it be your investment paying off for you. You could have purchased a house. People are paying you rent. You get money like that. You got to do things to get money. You got to produce the revenue from your work. And then once you have money, you're able to invest it and make more money. Okay. So hopefully that helps. Hopefully that helps. And guess what? If you are on food stamps, your money comes from the taxpayer paying taxes, and the taxpayer money is spent on you. That's kind of how that goes. So hopefully you're good now. You've been helped. You've been educated about where money comes from. Okay. And no, it doesn't grow on trees. If you were asking me that, no, it don't grow on trees. You got to do something to get the money. Or here's one more. Maybe you got an inheritance or something like this. Maybe your parents did all that. They had the money and they gave it to you. Maybe. All right. So there we go. But generally people work and they get paid for their work. Now, guess what? This person right here, this guy does not appear to be working to get his money. He appears to be doing a different thing to get his money. Watch this. So, sir, I believe you have a walker and you're walking very fast. You got a New Yorker walk. You got a power walk, a brisk walk. But I presume if you got a walker, that would not be possible. You kind of be kind of hunched over, barely getting around and whatnot. Maybe this whole little get up with the walker and the outfit is just to get your welfare benefits, disability, EBT, welfare, whatever it is over here. Or over there in UK. That's the whole idea. And you know what? This is the thing they do over here in America too. They do it more with like injuries, but anything. Oh, I'm disabled. I got a bad toe. I got mental health. I got some random thing that my therapist gave me 2 weeks ago. I can't work. All excuses to be non-productive and collect money. But what's funny is that they put some effort into actually building their life up properly and to doing something constructive. They would not need to be out here doing this scam stuff. Put that same energy into a legitimate venture. You'll have success in the Western country, especially like UK and the USA. But they would rather just sit on their hind parts all day and scam. That's what it is. So yeah, shout out to that person right there walking very swiftly with their walker. Okay, now I got one more. One of these food bots again. And I see them all over Atlanta and the Waymos. I see the Waymos everywhere. Food bots everywhere. The robot takeover has begun. Listen, the robot takeover has begun. But let's watch this right quick.
Coco, are you okay?
Now listen, I got questions. How did the bot land on his feet? By happenstance, it just happened to be a certain number of stairs it tripped down, and then it was able to land on his feet. Okay, now if it lands on his feet, can it drive off? Will it be fine? Will this contraption be, in a sense, bulletproof? Will it be able to withstand some damage? Now, can it be defensive in its approach to navigating around certain streets? Now, if that happens, we got a problem. You got a big problem. We could be seeing the beginning of some kind of robot master race. I don't want that to happen. But yeah, shout out to the food bots. Hey, you know, like I said, I'll just go get my food. I'm not trying to see Chucky or Megan in front of my door, rolling around, falling, getting back up, getting angry, making noises. I'll go to the store and get what I got to get. I ain't worried about that right there. Not worried about that right there. Hey, if you had a drink, if you had a drink in there, if you had anything, hey, your Chipotle burrito is all over the place. Your drink, your burrito, all of that is all in there. That's pretty much what's happening. All right. So yeah, shout out to the food bot. Just go get your food. That's all you got to do. All right. But if you like what you heard tonight, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all the good stuff that helped me out tremendously. All right. Oh, I got one more. Speaking about hoarding for a storm, paper towels, toilet paper, eggs, milk, cheese, bread. Have you ever seen this forever roll of toilet paper? Oh, have you ever seen a forever roll? Do you know what that is? Do you know? Matter of fact, I'm going to just show you what that is. The forever roll of toilet paper. Check it out.
I've seen a lot of weird things for sale, especially here at Target. But the forever roll of toilet paper, who needs this much butt wipe? Like, I'm assuming you need like a special stand for this. Oh, hold on, let me put down this gigantic roll of toilet paper. Here's your forever roll starter kit. Okay, now it makes sense. That's a lot of toilet paper. I've seen a lot of weird.
Why? Now, okay. Would you guys get one of those? The forever roll with the kit. You got to get the stand for it because you try to put that in your regular, roll dispenser in your bathroom. It ain't going to work. It's not going to work. You got to get a special stand just for toilet paper. Now, the Baltimore rioters would have loved this. Hey, back in the Freddie Gray days, they would have had tubs and armfuls of this toilet paper running out of the Target. That would have been their big thing. Would you get that? And be honest, would you get it? Now, we got some big backs out here. This might be for them. If you weigh 1,000 pounds, you might need that because you got a lot of area. Okay, you got a lot of area to wipe. A regular square ain't gonna get it. That ain't gonna. You need something that's about like this big. I'm talking about like literally like between my hands. You need something that's like that, like a paper towel, but a toilet paper. You're gonna need that if you're 1,000 pounds. You're a real big back. But would you guys get it? Let me know and be honest. Okay. You get the Nova mic? Oh, okay, Nova. You must have got a big back. How much is it? Y'all are crazy. Hey, Target, I know y'all are watching. If you see a sales increase of this roll, please call me. I don't want no commission. I just want to know if y'all are actually getting that. For real. That's crazy. Hey, forever is a long time. It is a long time. Oh no, the visual. Y'all know I'm telling the truth. Hey man, some of them hind parts be big as the sun. You need a lot of, you know what I'm saying? You need a paper towel as a piece of toilet paper. You know what's happening? Some of y'all use paper towels as toilet paper, and you're not supposed to do that because it's gonna clog your. Hey, if you got a septic tank, forget about it. You're done with paper towels. You're going to be calling somebody to dig up your whole yard. You're doing something like that. But anyway, if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. Okay. We got super chats to get to. Then we're going to get to some calls. Super chats on deck first. Where we at? Thank you to Apu says ABL rioter bites off fingertip of ICE agent. Thoughts? I saw that. I can't show it because it's grotesque. They're going to flat me on YouTube. But yeah. Not surprising considering how crazy they are. I'm sure drugs are involved. And they've been whipped to a frenzy by Jacob Fry, by Tampon Tim Waltz, by a lot of your leftists, by the Antifas, by everybody out there. They've been whipped to a frenzy. So biting a finger off, that's pretty much par for the course. Thank you to Apu again who says, let's give credit to Pam Bondi and Cash. I ain't gonna say what you said. Cash Patel for arresting those church rioters, even if Don Lemon escaped charges for now and firing crooked federales. Thank you to Mel, for becoming a ABL, upgrading to the ABL squad. I appreciate you for that, Mel. Thank you to Apple again, who says ABL, the prison officials in Colorado set up Tina Peters by having an inmate attacker. Tina defended herself, now she's charged with a solitary. Thank you to Apple again, who says ABL, what's up with that new governor of Virginia? Taxes up. Hey, taxes up. Abigail Spanberg, I saw that too. Hold on. I did see that. Hold on, let me put it up right quick. Abigail Spanberger, Texas. Let me find that right quick. I can't find it right now, but I saw that she could potentially raise taxes by a lot. State income tax. I saw that coming. I saw it coming years ago. That's why I left. Part of the reason why I left is because of that. I knew that they would get crazy with the politics. So I was like, no, I'm good. Why would I buy a house here when I know they're going to raise my income tax by like a lot? I think the state income tax now is like 5%. And they want to go to like 12%. They want to be like California with the taxes. No, thank you. And you know why? In my opinion, so many ex-Californians who live in the DC area want to have VA become California. But see, the reason why Eric Swalwell, Adam Schiff, and all these guys the reason why they don't live in California and live in Virginia is because it's better in Virginia. But when you bring in the California waves, you're going to just make Virginia the new California. You'll ruin that state and then go to the next state. You're a parasite. When you deplete all of what the host has, you go to the next host. That's pretty much how they are. Thank you to Kevin, who says, have you seen two girls? Okay, disgusting. Like, let's get a life. Thank you to Whalers, who says, Walls and Fryer are going to have to be forcibly removed. It's the only way to regain law and order. Right on. Right on. Hold on. Let me just do that. There we go. But shout out to Whalers. Thank you to Twisted Clown, who said, Sleepy Joe said, get a shotgun, fire it in the air. Thank you to the Whites Man, who says, love the show. With the peace sign, thank you for that. The Whites Man. Thank you to Fremont Fred, who says 100% support ICE. This was a clear case of the officer defending himself. 100% correct. Thank you to Brian Henderson, who says don't go to a protest with a pistol. Stay home. Exactly. Thank you to Brian Henderson again, who says ABO ice rate is like warm chocolate with marshmallows. Exactly. Yes, yes. Give you that warm, fuzzy feeling. Thank you to my friend Killer 699, long time, who says Joe Biden leaves the border open for his whole term. Millions come in. The response to that is intense deportation action. Trump ran and won on fixing the problem. The outrage is unwarranted. Exactly. So when people like Tim Walz say, oh, you guys are going to get slaughtered in the midterms, by who? We, Republicans, voted for this. This is what you wanted. And we knew that there's going to be some that try to fight. There'll be some that try to get in the way. We knew this. And we wanted them to be crushed, meaning we want the threat to be ended. The threat and the danger they pose, we want that to be uprooted. Thank you, Ryan 99, who says the father abandoned the boy and the mother rejected the boy and ICE took care of the boy. Exactly. Thank you to Astro 88 girl for becoming an ABL supporter. Thank you to Ryan Henderson, who says the monster slash says it all. Thank you to J-Man, who says, oh, you get to the membership. Thank you for that. Thank you to Taylor Langley, who says, I think the reason young men in this generation are so soft is because we've had no major wars to harden them. The elitists have the world on lock to the point where there's no need for wars. Get the people docile. Well, that's part of the natural human cycle, ain't it? The whole good times, hard times, weak men, the thing. When you live in peace all your life and there's no adversity at all, you can become soft. And sometimes people who live like that create their own problems, which creates real problems. And now we're in a cycle again. So these guys have had charmed lives, pleasant lives. They create problems. Now we get bad times as a result. And through those bad times, you're going to create strong men who are the ones who create good times again. But bad times got to happen to get to the good times. That's a human cycle. Now, define bad, define good, I guess it depends on what area you're living in. But we got a few calls we can get to right now. Let's get to some. The number to call is 706-406-3287. Again, 706-406-3287. The phone lines are on. All right, you got it. That's right, Base Janelle. Strong men make good times make weak men make hard times. There you go. And hard times create strong men. There we go. That's the whole thing right there. Let's make it to 501 on the line.
Hey, this is Robert.
All righty, what's going on?
Not too much. So, I got a question. How do you think Pam Bondi is doing?
She's doing well. She's doing pretty good. I mean, she could be doing better, maybe, but she's doing pretty good right now, in my humble opinion.
I think, in my opinion, she needs to be replaced because, for better or worse, and I don't agree with anything that Biden or his administration did, but when they went after people and put them in jail. There's been a whole year of her in different cases where she hadn't done anything. Like the Letitia James case was a toss-up, and she got off on that. And then you got all of these other people where they barely, get them indicted. I mean, I don't know. I don't think she's doing a good job.
I mean, I see your point of view, but I think that there's quite a bit that she has done. Although some things may not be perfect, it may not go 100% the way you want it. I would not look at that and judge her based on that. Totally. I wouldn't say that she's bad and need to be replaced because of some things that I dislike. I would just look at her. I would see her overall work. Same thing with Trump. It's just like some things that he does I may not like the vaccine, for example. But overall, I'm happy, I'm satisfied. But I understand your point of view.
I mean, I get what you're saying, but I mean, name one thing that she's done that has been successful. Now, I think that Kristi Noem has been doing a pretty good job, but I can't say the same thing for Pam Bondi.
I hear your point of view. I just don't really agree with it.
But could you name one thing that she's done?
I mean, I don't know. I don't really follow what she has or has not done. I can't really tell you what she hasn't done either. So I have to go look at that. But overall, I like what she's been doing. From what I've seen. I can't tell you everything, but from what I've seen, I like what she's been doing.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I think what's going on now with all of these crazy rioters, because I'm sick and tired of, I'm not saying you, but I'm just saying like the media, like everybody calling these guys, protesters. They're not protesters. Protesting does not involve people carrying guns, using their cars as weapons, or throwing objects, or putting lasers in people's eyes and other, methods of causing chaos and destruction.
Yeah, I mean, I think people are doing that, and they're kind of being encouraged to do it by people like Tim Wall, Jacob Fry, etc.
I think at this point, I think that those two have literally, they are the definition of insurrection. And something needs to happen to them. I know Tim Walz, he's not running again for governor, but something serious needs to happen.
Well, we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Well, that's all I got.
Thanks for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
All right.
All right. Shout out to the caller. Let's cheer up, man. I mean, all right. Let's make it to 917 on the line.
Hey, ABL. How you doing this Saturday night? This is Corinne from NYC.
All right. I'm doing well. About yourself?
Okay. I just wanted to start off by answering your question first, I'm going to be honest. I don't hoard. I don't do all that. But I honestly would buy that forever roll of the TP. I'm gonna be honest. If I had some place to store it, where it would be sanitary, it would, be a nice, clean place to store it, which I do not. But if there was some place I could store that forever roll, I honestly would get that.
Hey, you better than me. I mean, that's too much to handle. That's too much of a massive task. Like if I'm on the toilet, I'm trying to get the toilet paper, and I got to reach to this big sheet of just like a roll like industrial paper. That's a little much. And my toilet is gonna be like, yo, what are we doing with this big roll in the toilet? That's a little much.
Well, I do have to say, I do kid with some of my friends, like, as a lady too, like, there's a few things I never want to run out of and don't like to get at the last minute: TP and tampons. So if I could, I would do that forever roll. I would do it.
All right, you better than me. I couldn't do it.
And also, you showed that clip of Bill Maher. I don't really watch him as much anymore, but I don't get why people are trying to act like they forgot about election night. When they make those statements like that, when they're like, we didn't vote for this, it's like everybody forgot how red it was, like bleeding. The country was bleeding red. So it's like, does he remember that this is what everybody wanted? They don't understand that we voted for this.
Exactly. They don't really get it. I think they're not really tuned in to what the people are saying. They live in their own little world. They don't really understand what we are saying.
Yeah, because I remember people, they didn't start it right away. At first they were all like, oh, I'm so disappointed in the country that they wanted this, because right after the election, it was like obvious this is what they want. So people were just saying things like they're disappointed. But then I noticed a few months after they were trying to forget, and they were saying, oh, we don't want this. We're not supportive of this. Trump has to go. And I'm like, who are you fighting? The whole damn country? Because a lot of people voted for him. Who are you against?
Exactly. I think like some of that is just them just trying to speak to their audience, trying to, be tough guy in front of them. It's not really a real thing. It's just something that they're saying to the few that watch them.
Yeah, it's really, but people should constantly remind it, like put up that map from election night. I mean, this is crazy. Like they keep saying that. That was it. And those Somali, you killing me with those like videos. That's really crazy. We don't have too many of the Somali. I don't see them around here as much. I do see a lot. I'm seeing a lot of Pakistani in Brooklyn, way down in Brooklyn, Mill Basin area. We're getting a lot of. There's like a nice little Pakistani community, but Somali I don't see as much. We have a little bit of everything, but I'm not seeing it like obviously the way it is in Minnesota. So those videos are highly amusing. But okay, I'm gonna let you continue with the calls, and you have a good night. It is freezing out here in the NYC right now.
Hey, I say,
frigid.
Hey, good. Stay warm out there. I can't do it. Is it snowing? It's snowing heavy too?
I'm inside. The chill is crazy. Okay. All right. Have a night. Have a good night.
Same to you. Yeah. Shout out to New York. Shout out to everybody out there in the cold. Like where I'm at, it's like 30 or so. It's cold, but it's not as cold as some of y'all are dealing with right now. I'm gonna take it to 417 on the line.
Hi, this is Norma.
All righty, what's going on?
Well, it's about the protesters. Well, so-called protesters. They're more agents of chaos.
Yes.
But I just like to say that I did protest once, but it wasn't like what they were doing. I was on the sidewalk making sure I didn't cross that line or get in trouble. And I was there for a good 30 minutes. And then after that, I just went home. It boggles my mind how people can be that way.
Yeah, because some of them are just out there for a different reason. Protesting is one thing, but a lot of it, I think, is financially motivated.
I do too, and it just boggles my mind somebody would do that for money.
Yeah,
Because even if I was tight on money, I wouldn't be doing something like that because it just doesn't make sense to me.
right. I agree. I feel the same way.
So, yeah, I just wanted to put my 2 cents in on there and just have a good night.
Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you. All right, shout out to the caller. But yeah, I mean, people just, it's okay to protest. That's part of what we built the country on, is protesting. But when you get to the point of just trying to be violent and causing problems because you're getting paid for it, that's something totally different. At that point, you're a mercenary. That's what you are. 786 on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Mr. Anthony Brian Logan, how are you, sir?
I'm doing well. About yourself?
Oh, well, no, I'm trying to stop my head from spinning with all that's going on out there. Yeah, but I find it very interesting, though, too, when I listen to some of these protesters, and I'm also listening to Tampon Timmy Walls and Jacob Fried, or I should say Brain Fried, the mayor of Minneapolis. That they're talking about, and maybe just these places, but other places, about you can't take these people that are neighbors and all this. Our community wants them here, and I'm like saying, hey, look, immigration is the United States of America whole issue. I mean, they're talking about their communities and maybe the state of Minnesota as a whole, like it's a separate country.
Right.
I
Exactly.
mean, if that's what they seriously want, why don't they announce a session?
Hey, I mean, that's kind of like what they're teetering on, because they keep talking about, oh, well, the federal government shouldn't be here. We do things our way. It's like, well, we have laws that all states agree to follow. If you guys don't want to do that, then what are we saying? Do you guys want to be part of the union? Do you want us to see what's happening?
Yeah, exactly. And I wanted to go back to, I mean, that woman with Scottsdale, Arizona. Well, I'm going to take you back to Arizona in 2009 when they had a governor named Jan Brewer, who got famous because the then recently inaugurated President Obama visited there, because Arizona had a law saying that they were going to help enforce or whatever U.S. immigration laws in their state. And, of course, what was the Obama and the Democrats' issue with it? Immigration's a national issue. You states can't have extra laws, even though their law was instead they would definitely cooperate with ICE and immigration enforcement. And they were just going to, basically make it mandatory to turn over the evidence of people living in Arizona who are in the country illegally. Basically, that's what that law was. It was a little, 16-page law or something like that. But then, what happened? The same people were saying, no, Arizona, you can't do that. It's a national issue. Because Arizona was, of course, its border was being flooded. It's a border state. And so there you go. I mean, another example, double standard, I know.
Of course, it's always like they pick and choose what rules they think apply to them. There's no standards. They just kind of shift as the wind blows. Whatever is in their favor, they're for. Anything that's against them, they're against it. Even if they were just for it the previous day, if it is against them now, then they'll be against it. Yeah, of course. And I wanted to say too, the Black Panther Party. I'm not surprised that they're not defending the illegal migrants in this country, and a lot of black people have upset about it because so many of these sanctuary cities, probably the most clear example has been Chicago. What happened? These migrants have moved in. They take over schools in black neighborhoods. They take over community centers in black neighborhoods. They're bringing a lot of these other problems to black neighborhoods, and they're taking away resources from the black residents. And and then these whitey libs are out there, they'll say, how come you black people are upset? Well, there's your answer right there. I mean, I've seen the videos coming out of Chicago, for example, where a lot of the residents, especially a lot of the black residents, were upset for those same reasons. Exactly. But see, these people, that are out there so-called protesting, they don't really care about how the illegal immigrant issue actually affects people. They have their own agenda, and they're going to press forward. And they think anybody that's in their way, is something wrong with them because their opinion is the only correct one.
Yeah. I just wanted to say, too, that the lady in Scottsdale, Arizona, get back to her about all the businesses being shut down and all. Hey, I got a solution, ABL, and I've kind of shared it before. That is, you got all these big backs or whatever who are just living off of EBT, and U.S. citizens. Yeah, it's not necessarily illegal migrants, but U.S. citizens and all. Hey, there's a great place to put them to work. You can take care of that labor problem right there.
Exactly. There you go.
It's good to come up with solutions. As far as winter storms go, I lived on Long Island, lived through blizzards. Just get enough stuff for a week and you'll be fine. Besides the milk in the refrigerator, if you lose power, it's going to spoil. Unless you plan to keep it outside in the cold, maybe that'll make up for it. And I'll tell you now, those big rolls, I used to install big rolls at a Walmart many years ago. But I will say one ththing. The guys who work at the water treatment plants, the sewer plants, they're sure going to earn their money with those big rolls.
I bet they do. Because there's going to be some stuff clogged up.
Yeah, and I know the sales of Riddex will go way up for those septic tanks.
Yeah,
Oops,
for sure.
Didn't mean to put in a product plug, but at any rate, I'm done. I'll let you go. Thank you so much for taking my call. Good night. God bless. And until next time, or, for the other 10 million callers, have fun.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Sure thing.
Yeah, man. Them rolls. Pfft. Your septic tank, forget about it. It's going to be a wrap for your septic tank. Yeah, don't put that in your septic tank. It's going to be a mess. Okay, let's go to 504 online. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, ABL, it's Alien Spaceship.
Alien Spaceship, what's happening?
Shout out to you in chat. I enjoying your show. I've been watching it, and I liked your commentary about the weather. It seems like there's like a global storm going on, a global ice storm.
Yeah, it's kind of what it seems like, right? It's like the whole world going to be frozen in a minute.
Yeah, yeah, because over in have friends in Canada and different streams, and everyone's like freezing to death over there. And there's also, it's like in the negatives. And other parts, people are going to get snow, but it hasn't happened yet. But it's going to like come in the morning. I remember when it snowed in my city, it didn't look like anything was going to happen, but the next morning it was like piling up. Global warming sucks.
Yeah, right. I mean, good grief, the global warming. Can I get some of that here? Because it's about 30-something degrees. It's pretty cold. I want a little bit of global warming.
Yes. So we need some of that global warming. It's much needed because it looks like our planet's going to freeze over. I will say these liberals that are the ones you showed on the stream that are really angry and upset about what's going on, it's like they have no inner peace in them, and they just emotionally react to whatever happens, and then they get used and manipulated by the people, the powers that be, that want to promote my opinion, the Marxist propaganda. So they make themselves into a fool, and they're like a kid that gets angry and has a tantrum, but it doesn't actually change anything.
Well, of course not. It'll never change anything, but they still feel righteous in their indignation. They feel like they're doing the correct thing. And people like that, it's hard to convince them otherwise. And then once you add on the financial incentive that many of them partake in, it's going to pretty much lock them in stone. They'll be cannon fodder. They feel like they're going to be the ones on top. They'll be the ones who are successful after the communist takeover or whatever they want. But really, it'll be cannon fodder. They will be the first ones who were eliminated.
Very well said, because Yuri Bezmenov was talking about that. They think that they're going to be the ones in charge of it, but it's actually they're just useful idiots.
Exactly, 100%.
Yeah, there's some people I was talking to recently that were present during the riots. Like all of a sudden, it starts happening, and many people that were like in those cities that were burning down got red pilled about what the agenda is.
Right. Then once it started to happen, it's like, oh, this is what they really wanted to happen. This is the ultimate. Oh no, this is going to be bad. But oftentimes it could be a little late before they realize it. Like some people, they don't figure it out until they did. Like the lady that got shot in Minnesota.
Right, and especially that it's like if somebody like hits a police officer with a vehicle, they're probably gonna get shot.
Right. Correct.
No matter how people want to twist it around, like if people could have a debate if it's morally right or wrong, but that's just what's going to happen. If you like what we were saying before about keeping your hands to yourself.
Right. It's pretty simple, but see, people, they seem to forget all kind of common sense, all kind of basic common knowledge when they're out there pumped up and angry and trying to fight for a thing that they think they deserve that won't really happen the way they think it will.
Right, and there's like a Karen with glasses just in her house. She said, "You're gonna have to go through us." It's like I'm like scared. I'm scared to deletion right now.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, and I think it is another factor here is so many. I'm glad people got red pilled about it when it was happening because people that were in it were very offended when the public officials and politicians and famous people were downplaying it. It's very offensive when people hear that.
Right. That's correct.
See, because I think that they know what's going on, but they're trying to promote this thing because they all think they're going to get something out of it when they see means of production, but they're just going to be hypothetically put in concentration camp or completely deleted. And then the other group comes in, say like China, and just takes it all for themselves because that's what their whole plan was, as I read in their books and stuff.
Oh, of course. But see, people don't really understand what the real world is. A lot of people live in like in a fantasy land and they think things are going to be one way when they go out there and accomplish certain tasks that are given to them. But it's just not that way. They don't, and you can't really convince them otherwise. Like Yuri Bezmenov said, they won't get it until a boot crashes their fat bottom. That's the only time they're going to get it is when that happens.
Yeah, yeah. And you could, as he said, you could show them a concentration camp, but they won't get it. Just like in this time period, you could show them all the evidence, show them all of what's going on, show them what happened to everything. Every single country that tried communism or socialism went in a terrible authoritarian regime that became an oppressive class system. They didn't create equality like they claimed it would do. So it's just the brainwashing was so effective that it is how it is. And that's why it's good we have people like you and events that happen to show people like the truth, what's going on. And as I said, like last time, like the Chinese and the Soviets had meetings and they both were trying to do the same thing. So the Chinese now, in my opinion, would, most likely are still doing what they did before.
Oh, of course. Like the Chinese have a long memory. They play a long game. They don't let little things kind of get in the way. They're going to stay on course with what they want to do.
Yeah, I do think more things can be made in the United States, or at least an ally that wasn't like trying to have us, in my opinion, eliminated.
Exactly. Right.
Yeah. I think that was even probably a something they wanted to happen, the Chinese, so they can control their stuff.
Yeah, anything that I think what happens with a lot of these foreign powers, whenever they see an instance where they can inflame instability in our country, they'll do it because it helps them.
Yeah, and then they show the people propaganda about, look what the U.S., even like North Korea, like they'll say, look how ununified the Americans are, look how unified we are. You see, they're trying to reinforce, one of the things they're doing, besides all the many other things, they're trying to reinforce into their population that their ideology is the truth, and it benefits them more than it would benefit us. And these morons, they think they're doing something, but it doesn't do anything. It's like if they had a job or if they had like a career or helped their family or made a, contribution to society, that's good, but they're not doing anything to liberals. And the Chinese are just trying to benefit their own propaganda machine and all the other stuff they're doing.
Of course.
Yeah. And another thing that I'm going to be growing this year in the garden is okra, and it originated from Africa.
Okay, sounds good. sounds very good. Can't wait to see you, wait till it matures and be ready to eat.
Yeah, and the plant likes the warmer weather over the cold weather.
Right, of course.
Yeah, because the only certain type of plants are good with the cold, but most of the plants like the warm weather.
Yeah, of course. Like cold weather is a little difficult. Once it gets to that warm time, that's when you can really, make it happen.
Yep, and the silver went to $100 an ounce.
Okay, pretty high.
Yeah, and see the liberals, they don't do stuff like that. They don't try to like do a garden or do a hobby that's like self-sufficient for self-preservation. They just do things for self-destruction. Another thing about liberals is the people at the Antifa riots. A lot of them seem like they were on drugs, according to people that were like there observing it.
Of course, that's pretty much what I expect.
Yeah. Okay. And that's all to say for his call. ABL, thank you for taking my call. Shout out to you in chat.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Okay, bye.
All right, shout out to Alien Spaceship for the call. Most certainly appreciate him. And shout out to you guys again for rocking and rolling. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these interwebs. If you like what you're hearing tonight, if you like what you heard so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Let's go to 310. You're on line. Who am I speaking to?
This is Ron from Georgia. How you doing, ABL?
I'm doing well. About yourself?
Another big week, man. I tell you, these folks are going off the rails. I tell you, you hear them talking about get strapped and everything, and get ready and everything. Just like the guy with the monster slash on his face. You know the monster drink, those 3 slashes. That's what he had on his face.
Yeah.
That's why I said the monster slash on his face. That's telling you something about that guy. He is a monster, a monster to our republic. These people are out to create chaos. They're doing it, but they're creating chaos in their own world right there. You know what? The mission is going forward. The mission is going forward. We are getting people out left and right in spite of them kicking and stomping. This guy who came there, was supposed to be a peaceful protester with, carrying his weapon of choice and 2 magazines and everything like that without his CCW permit on him because, if you're carrying, you got to have your permit on you and everything. But the thing about it is that you don't go in front of a cop and or any type of law officers with that thing on you and expect anything good to come out of it, especially when you're fighting. Because you're fighting, you're fighting for bear, and apparently he got what he came there for. He thought he was going to be on the up, and he was on the low. So this is unfortunate. But anybody that says anything different, they're fooling themselves, and it's ironic that people who think they're so smart are really the fools. They're the fools, and they're fooling themselves. It's not going to end well for them. But we're going to continue to push forward on the agenda. The agenda to bring law and order back to America. Whether or not the liberals want to continue to create this chaos, they're not creating chaos throughout America. They're creating chaos in their state, in their city. And the thing about it is that the media is just amplifying that, trying to get it to go across America. It's not going. It's only going to go in these blue strongholds at this point until the people wise up and get these idiots out. Because Trump and the administration is not going to continue to fund all this here stuff. I hope the president would invoke the Insurrection Act to go ahead and bring some type of stability and law and order into that state, and just push forward, push hard, push even harder. All these people walking around their backpacks. Hey, we don't know what they got in those backpacks. We don't know what they got. It's not just bottled water back there, maybe, especially if these people out there crying and shouting that they want to go ahead and do something. I say ICE, Border Patrol, hey, continue to be vigilant, continue to be ready, keep your head on the swivel, watch out for each other, and like all the law-abiding Americans, stay in your house. Let these crazies go out there. You stay in your house, you take care of your business, you go to your job, and you're not affected. And all the Somalis who don't want to come out and everything, that's telling you something about them and their motives. They don't want to come out the house. That's probably why they're out there swarming and got all the items out of the store. Hey, there's the reason why they got their milk. Hey, everybody huddled up in there, so they don't have to go outside the house because ice is outdoors and it ain't just snow. But the thing about it is that, we really need to continue to be vigilant in our country today. Don't lose heart. Don't lose heart. There's a lot of good people out there wanting America to thrive. And unfortunately, we got people in our country who are wanting to subvert what's going on in our country. They're being paid to do this. And that's sad that we got so many Benedict Arnolds out there that are paid to sell their soul, to destroy their own nation. But it's crazy. But you know what? Just like was said, hey, weak people bring hard times. But hard times bring strong people. Strong people stand up and be in the ready. We can go forward from this here right now. We don't worry about the small stuff right here, because big things are coming. They talking about the election. Hey, the election is a long ways off at this particular point. Trump could do a lot of cleanup. I pray that they get the voter rolls cleared, get the voter IDs or some type of verification that you are a U.S. citizen to be voting here, to stop all this foolishness, because this is the only reason why they're fighting so hard to keep these illegals in our country, is to try to water down our vote, the vote and the will of the people. We won't have it. We won't tolerate it. We can't accept that in America today. Support our president. Support the push to keep America thriving. He's doing an excellent job. Our president, we need Greenland too, to continue to, to make the golden dome of America to block anybody that want to come in and hurt our nation. We need to stand vigilant and stand strong. We love our country. I love my country. I love the people of my country. And anybody that want to support our country, I love. But anybody that's against our country, get out, go somewhere else. We're not happening here in America. God bless you, my brother. I'm still praying for you in America. Hey, God bless everybody in the chat. Praise the Lord. Keep on your knees, okay? God bless you, brother.
Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
You too, sir. Bye-bye.
All right, shout out to you guys. These are great calls tonight. Fantastic calls. Great way to end it, but that will be a wrap for me. I'll be back live again on Tuesday, actually, on Instagram. If you have Instagram and you want to check the Instagram live out, I'm live each and every Tuesday on the Instagram, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to right around right now, 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I'm live on the YouTube every Wednesday and Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern to right around right now, 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I'm here pretty much every day putting out pre-recorded content, putting out clips wherever. You can find me everywhere. Follow me on all my platforms, because sometimes you might not see everything on YouTube. YouTube is weird. I'm going to tell you what YouTube does. Shout out YouTube, though. YouTube is great, and I'm never going to leave YouTube. I'm going to be on YouTube when I'm 100 years old. I don't know if I'll be able to do videos at that point, but I'll be doing something on YouTube when I'm 100 years old. But anyway, YouTube is trying to get new creators to get on the platform and build audiences. So they are pushing newer channels and newer people to get out to more. And I get it. I understand, because you don't want to just bury the new guys. They don't have no chance. And you got to be able to, at a certain point, keep the platform going. If you got a bunch of old guys, you got to be able to bring in new guys too. So that's what's happening right now with YouTube. So I'm everywhere. My Instagram is blowing up. My Facebook's blowing up. Shout out to the best editor in the world, Monique. If you see any of my shorts where I got like AI clips and stuff like that, the funniest one I saw, Monique, if you're watching, was the one when I was in the daisy field dancing around. That was hilarious. That was not me. It was AI. But it's always me talking. But the little clips where I'm doing stuff crazy, that's AI. So yeah. But those kind of clips are doing really well on my other platforms. So follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I'm on Twitter a lot. Follow me everywhere. TikTok, I try. But TikTok, I'm a little bit too rough. I'm a little bit too much of TikTok. So I'm on there sparingly. But all the other Facebook, shout out to my Facebook crew. You guys are great. Facebook, definitely a big place for me right now. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and of course, YouTube. Check me out everywhere. And if you didn't know, you're listening to an audio streaming platform right now. It'll be available on your favorite audio streaming platform. You listen to an audio streaming podcast right now. It'll be on your favorite audio streaming platform, whether they be Google Play, Spotify, Apple, iTunes, etc. That link will be in the description. Or visit your favorite audio streaming platform and search ABL Live. I should pop right on up. All righty. I think we got everything. Do I have super chats here? Let me check to make sure. I think I got one more. But shout out to you guys again for watching, retweeting, super chat, and whatever you do. I could not do the show without you. Thank you to everybody. I'm reading comments. I'm getting distracted. I'm going to read that in a minute. Thank you to everybody for watching, retweeting, super chat, and whatever you do. I could not do the show without you. Thank you to the mods for keeping them shows in check. I appreciate y'all for that as well. And before I get to the last super chat, I saw a comment right there saying, hey, that was AI when I was dancing. Yeah, hey, y'all are funny. You guys are the funniest people in the world. I promise. You guys are fantastic. So shout out to the community we have here of the most funny people ever. You guys are great. All right, my last super chat here. I'll read this right quick, then I wrap it on up, put the bone top. Thank you to Spencer T, who says, y'all are talking ish. I guess that's SHIT about Minneapolis. We finna get a champ. What does that mean? Hey, Spencer, did you go to the Leering Center, bro? I don't know what this means. Y'all are talking ish about MPLS. We finna FINA get a champ. What you mean, a championship? Y'all about to win? What y'all about to win? Hold on. Are y'all about to? I don't really get it. I ain't watching no sports. I don't know. What you about to win the World Cup? You about to win? You about to win the Pulitzer? I don't know what you about to win. But nah, shout out to Minneapolis. It's cold, and you got so many people there that just want to steal and be pirates on land. But aside from that, it looks beautiful. It looks beautiful, man. Y'all got to take your state, take your city, and take your state back from these people that you got in there. Take your state back from Tampon Tim Waltz. Take your city back from Jacob Fry, a.k.a. Justin Castro, Trudeau, Macron. Take your beautiful place back from these horrible people. Same thing with the Californians. Y'all know California is like, I mean, I'm not a California fan, not because it's an ugly place, not because of anything other than leadership and the people. Some of you guys are fantastic, but some of your neighbors, like I said before, California is a place where you can have the best guy in the world right next door to a demon. That's the way it is over there. So it's kind of hard to navigate with that kind of stuff going on. But you could take a big bite out of what's wrong with California by fixing leadership, for sure. Gavin Newsom, get him out of there. Maxine Waters, is she still living? By the grace of God, I don't know how. She must got a purpose to prove, a point to prove, a vendetta, spite. I don't know what's going on. But you got bad leaders. Get them out and your state can improve. But as long as they still there, hey, man, you get what you get. It is what it is. All righty. So that's pretty much what I got for you guys. Shout out to y'all. But until next time, y'all be safe. I'm out. And peace.